Salut mes amis, Vanakkam et hola. J'espère que vous allez bien. And today we talk about gender parity. No particular reason for us to decide to talk on gender parity except for our general interest in social systems and structures across the world. And it is inevitable to discuss anything on society without discussing gender or gender parity specifically. Now, today we only discuss about the two most popular sexes, and we pass no other judgments on the variety of sexes and discussions surrounding all those topics, primarily because it will only demonstrate how common our knowledge truly is. Now, our intention today, like always, is first to discuss global trends and topics related to that, and state a lot of facts, and maybe towards the end we will discuss on the desirability and feasibility of gender parity as well. Now, while it may seem ironic to some of you that it's two males discussing about women, the typical cliche, I present to you the fact that half the population is filled with males, and it is important to convince them if any significant progress has to be made in society. Now, amongst the two of us discussing the topic today, one of us has a relatively high-pitched voice and on several occasions gets the yes madam on the other end of the call until he clarifies his name. I didn't slip there. One of us has last been in a fight in the third grade and probably just did a lot of hair pulling during the fights. One of us barely has any facial hair. Both of us are overly clingy in relationships. One of us is extremely chatty. One of us likes a lot of attention. One of us is extremely emotional and cries a lot. And one of us likes to cook a lot. Now, if it isn't clear by now, one of us has a poor, insipid sexist sense of humor. And for that very reason, to demonstrate a little civility in today's program, let's welcome the gentle and gentleman, Chintan Bhatt.
Thanks for that roasty intro. I did not expect that at all.
Roasty? I gave you my praise. And why is it roasty? You assume the one of us is you. I didn't make it clear.
No, I know. That's what I know. It was roast. Like you were mentioning both of us. I know. So people can. I don't know.
I also call you a gentleman.
No, but this thing consisted of both of us, so it could be for any of us. So you kept saying one of us, the other person isn't. So.
It was also probably a preview. So there's a high tendency for me to make some inappropriate sexist joke, and hopefully Chintan will. You have Chintan to compensate.
Who has high pitch voice, by the way? Me or you? I don't know who you meant by that.
That was me. Obviously me. Because I don't know if you got yes man. See, because that's why I said it was a Freudian slip. By mistake, I said I have a high pitch voice. So often when I'm on the call, they'd say, "Hello, madam."
I don't believe that at all.
I'm Arun speaking.
I don't believe that at all.
So in the last 5 calls I got from my gate person, it's been 4 times they've called me madam.
Whoa, that is so weird.
Maybe because there are more masculine voiced people in my apartment. I don't know. Women in our apartment. I don't know why it is. And it's happened since childhood. It's not a new phenomenon for me. I've always got it. So, right. And I always, my correction is, it's weird to say that, no, I'm a man. You can't correct yourself with that. It's a little degrading for me. So I just go, Mera naam Arun hai. Yeah, I'm Arun. So
that's pretty nice. That's pretty polite, I would say. That's very opposite of sexist. So.
I guess. But anyway, that's the only thing I thought, the only appropriate way I thought to do that.
But that was a really cool intro, though.
But yeah.
I thought that was
not bad, right? Not bad, cool. So you know how long it took? I told you it took like an hour or two to get such 1 minute of content. So that's how long it takes. Maybe if I put more effort, it gets better.
So on top of that really cool intro, I think you want to mention this really cool picture of this, which is
I do. Because the significance of this, what's it called?
Ardhanarishwara, according to
Ardhanarishwara. Right. Some of you probably already recognize it, and maybe many of you haven't. It's a Sanskrit word. It comes from the Hindu mythology. There's this idea in Hindu mythology that the perfect human being has 50% of feminine traits and 50% of masculine traits. And this this deity or this depiction of a deity is a symbol of that. It depicts that focus or importance of that trait, that divine nature of all human beings, where both need the perfect human will have, and we should strive to become closer towards this. Now, as you can see, it's extremely relevant to today's topic because what we're trying to achieve is gender parity from a different perspective, societal perspective, but it's still very closely related. To be specific, I'll give you a brief. I don't know too much detail. I'm not an expert in Hindu mythology. It is an interest for me both in Chintan. But these two are Shiva. Maybe again, a lot of you might recognize Shiva, and the other one being Parvati. Shiva is one of the three Trinity in Hindu mythology. He's the destroyer of worlds. We have a creator. What's the other one? A creator, preserver, and a destroyer, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I think so.
And Shiva is the destroyer. Vishnu, Brahma, Sadashiva. So, and then the Parvati is his wife. She's a goddess. So all our goddesses are avatars of Parvati. So many of you might have heard of Kali, Durga, and many other goddesses.
Is it all?
I believe so. I believe for the female, again, this is probably showing how common our knowledge is, but I believe all the female goddesses, whoever the main goddesses are, like Kali, Durga, and all these, they're all avatars of Parvati.
Right.
But in the male, they're either avatars of Shiva or Vishnu or Brahma.
Right.
So, for example, Krishna is an avatar of Vishnu. I don't know Shiva's avatars, but yeah.
Right. The latter being known as Devi, Shakti, and Uma in this icon. Okay, that's
there you go. So Shakti also, right. All these Shakti, even Durga's with Shakti. She's, I think so. No, I don't know. Either way.
Right.
It's a brief discussion. So we thought it was a good way to start a good thumbnail for that.
Yeah, and I was like super happy that we were so progressive like back then also. So it's also very
at
cool.
least progressive ideas.
Yeah.
Even though it's possible society was no judgments. Given our lack of knowledge, we shouldn't make judgments on it. But the ideas. A lot of people had progressive ideas. I completely agree with it. It's something we are proud of.
Yeah.
Illogically proud of.
I mean, obviously that has changed a lot. It might not be. Maybe it was like more progressive back then, considering the times, than what we are now. So I mean,
that's an idea I am willing to accommodate, but it's just very contrary to what most of the world believes, not least the progressive part of society. It's hard for them to believe that the world was less sexist before.
Right.
But I tend to believe there's a possibility that's the case, at least in some parts of society, in India specifically. What I wanted to say, just one more thing before we move on. I guess it's fine. It's a good time to move on. Yeah. Let's get. What are we talking about today? What are these things?
So,
looks like we're keeping it brief today. We don't have so many tabs open.
Right. The tabs are very few, but I think the content that we have today is probably one of the most that we have, because there's a lot of.
I think so too.
Yeah.
That the audience should realize that means we study a lot more than usual, and we make no defense of how poorly we study. Oh yeah, this is the thing I want to say. Just a disclaimer for all our videos in general. We don't have any strong opinions on anything we talk about. We have opinions and different degrees of strength. We believe some more than others, but there's always a sense of skepticism in everything we believe. So while we express some of our opinions, it shouldn't be taken as we're always open to change. You could change it tomorrow. We present arguments. We try to maintain no strong dogma in any ideology, whether it's left, right, religious, non-religious, all these gender, non-genders, non-binaries, all these things. We have views, we have beliefs. Certain beliefs we are stronger than others, but they're always subject to change. We're always open to listen. So that's a disclaimer I wanted to say.
Yeah, that's a good disclaimer for sure. By any means, I don't think by what I know about you or judge myself about. I don't think we are in any means sexist or any kind of strong opinions about anything which is very sexist or anything, I would say. But we just love to just read data and just kind of not come to conclusions, I guess, but just draw whatever.
Yeah. It's like an intellectual exercise. We're just engaging our brains in global topics of interest. That's how I would describe it.
Yep, exactly. So I guess we can move on. So one of the first things we have
Please.
is like a website called Our World in Data. I think Arun found this. I don't know how, but
How did I find it? It's just simple Google, man. I think anyone would have found it. I just Googled and something.
right.
I was
So
Googling for gender parity.
yeah, so this is kind of, I think, funded by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. I think they kind of
Yeah, it is.
and
Maybe if
this
you go to the About Us page, it's mentioned on top. But
yeah. So yeah, this is like a website which has a lot of data on lots of things, not just gender parity and everything. It has things about poverty, disease, hunger, climate change, war, existential risks, inequality, so many things which will kind of help, as this says, reshape our world, I guess. So it has a lot of good
click
data.
on Team, Chintan. Click on Team. No. Sorry, go to About on History. No. Supporters, History. Supporters, maybe. Trying to find where I read it was Bill and Melinda Gates. Grants. Yeah, there it is. The first line.
Yeah. Supported by grants from Bill and Melinda Gates. Yep, for sure.
So,
I mean,
multiple sponsors. There's some university. I think Harvard sponsors them as well. So.
Yeah, and I think Bill and Melinda Gates has done a lot to this world. I personally believe. I think they have kind of eradicated polio from the world, although not 100%, but I think 99 point something percent is eradicated.
Yeah.
And lots of other vaccines.
They had a significant contribution in our homeland too, right?
Yeah, like India, polio is like, I think it's pretty much zero, like in India, like because of them.
I think it is zero, and largely because of them, right?
Yeah, I think only a couple of countries in Africa still have it, polio, I think. That's all.
Right.
And I think.
And what would we be? 1/7 of the world population?
Yeah.
Is that right? A little more than 1/7?
More than 1/7.
How much percent is that?
Yeah, I mean.
10s are over 10%, so that's 7/15s are maybe 7/12s, 70, 14, 7/13, around 13%, 13 to 15%, if I'm not wrong.
Right. Yeah,
so
I think
that's big deal, right?
Yeah, it is very.
I mean, I don't know how many of us had polio, but yeah. A lot of things. You're contributing AIDS and all that. I mean, I'm just, there's always a disclaimer, but it's probably a cliche to say that there's always something wrong, but no one's perfect. He probably did some bad things.
Yeah, but it's I think it's fair to say that he has done, I mean, they have done much more than what anyone else has done.
Benefit?
So,
net benefit? Yeah, sure.
So, but I mean that's what, like, very interesting with lots of things like health, demographic change, food and agriculture, education, knowledge, energy, innovation, poverty. My God, there's so much data. It's very, very interesting.
And very unusual, like points you wouldn't get, and very, very specific points, interesting points. Exactly. They summarize it well. So usually summarize, but it's still.
I mean, the points. The points aren't obvious enough, but after looking at them, it is kind of obvious kind of things. I think it is like they are very significant points kind of things, which and there's a lot of things. And today, what we are interested in is economic inequality by gender. So this is where we kind of start our. We actually already have gone through this briefly, but we thought we'll discuss it along with you, the kind of the findings of this. So I guess we can go.
We've not kind of gone through. We've actually gone through it entirely, but hopefully we can recall it for the purpose of this discussion.
Yeah. And we thought it was like very interesting. Like some of the data is, I mean, it doesn't consist of many countries. It was a little weird for us, we thought, but it's still very interesting and has a lot of data.
So. Also, when you think about it, not like there's so much insufficient data. I mean, clearly demonstrate, even when we're looking at the US police issues there, the data available is unique to US, right? Yeah. So many countries don't. I mean, like in India, when we want to do something, we don't have that kind of data. So most of the countries wouldn't be as advanced to start collecting data. They're solving other problems before they have a robust data collection system.
Yeah, true. So I guess we can go ahead. And we'll mainly be looking at graphs because graphs are interesting and it's nice to read them.
Graphs are awesome.
Yeah. So I guess
it's easier to understand.
Yeah. So unadjusted gender pay gap in average hourly wages. So wages, I think hourly wages is one of the most talked about topics when it comes to gender equality in this world today.
Yeah.
And this one is so there's unadjusted and adjusted. So adjusted, I'll tell you guys what adjusted means a little later. It'll come later. For now, unadjusted means
Okay.
it's just basically it just compares the wages got by men and women and across the world.
Okay.
So so I
What does
guess
that chart show? What do we see in the chart?
yeah. So this map kind the chart, right?
Okay.
The chart just shows these countries so the percentage of gap between men and women basically. So there is 33% there's wage gap of 33.59% in South Korea. So I guess I can explain it better by saying that women earn 33.59% lesser than men hourly in South Korea.
No, I don't think it's that. I think women earn on average 33% of what men earn.
No,
It's much worse than
no,
what
no,
you
no,
thought.
no, no, no. I don't think so. I don't think so because it
No?
comes to zero, right? When it comes to
Oh,
zero,
you're right. You're right.
yeah,
You're right. No, because no, even mine could come to zero, but 0.34 in Colombia, this looks too freaking wrong.
yeah,
Even
exactly.
my version, mine is the opposite version.
So
This is actually right.
so
This is the gap.
0.35 means both of them earn equal, basically. Like both of them.
Near equal. That's right. You're right. What you said is correct.
Yeah.
Women earn 33.59% less on average compared to men in South Korea.
Yeah, in South Korea. So I mean, this one is just lists out like a few countries. It's kind of like surprising that we were kind of surprised that South Korea has such a big
Yes,
disparity
we were.
because South Korea is
I think I was right. I think I was surprised at Japan too. But
right,
yeah, I don't know.
right. Japan, yeah, that's what I think. The table has a lot more countries, so let's let's go there. So yeah, another. So I'm just listing out. Yeah, in 2016, this is by 2016. Where is Japan in this?
Yeah.
Japan.
I don't know why I remember Japan.
I think Japan was
Maybe it was the other list.
the other this thing I think.
Oh, we should probably just briefly. We didn't say, but I'll just say there's one more graph study we're going to look into. It's a report by the World Economic Forum.
Yeah.
That's also something we look into after this. But
Yeah.
That's a similar study. I think it's a lot more elaborate discussions, although we just summarize it. But yeah.
Yeah, and
So
it includes lots more
in fact, some of
countries.
it,
It has like around 153 countries.
yes,
So
it does. Yeah,
So-
that's a much more comprehensive data set, I think.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, this is
In
very.
fact, some of it. Sorry, just one more thing. Some of it is cited here. Some of the data is cited here also, if I'm not wrong, in some of the graphs as you go.
Right.
But yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
continue.
no, that's okay. So yeah, I mean, zero, there's lots of countries here. So South Korea, we were pretty surprised by, and there's also Iceland and Finland, which you would think the gap would be lesser. But then this is again like not very conclusive because it's unadjusted.
Oh, right. Oh, okay, right.
Wait, where are?
Because it's unadjusted, so you have to eventually tell us what that means. But
Yeah,
it's still at least a rough demonstration of the differences,
yeah, exactly.
right?
But again, another
So these
what
are
was
the-
very surprising was Thailand. Thailand women earn 21% more than men.
Oh yeah, the minus. I just realized
Yeah.
that is crazy.
Yeah.
That is insane. Yeah, we talked about this. I remember now.
Yeah.
So we guys, together we did it like a week ago, but I think Chintan revised it recently. I don't remember perfectly, but I have read this, and yeah, we were surprised about Thailand when we first stumbled across this fact. It's crazy.
But yeah, I mean this.
We couldn't even. We still haven't. Maybe eventually. We still don't know why, right? We should have researched.
I mean, so one of the points which comes later is that the women consist of a lot of the higher level positions in Thailand. The CEOs,
Right.
CFOs,
Right.
the Cs or whatever,
Right.
or the C level. So
Right.
they.
Sea level. I remember now.
I mean, we still don't know why exactly that is also. I mean that also,
Exactly.
but
I was gonna ask, but still, it demonstrates why this is. It illustrates why this fact is true.
yeah,
Max 21.57.
So
Insane. That's insane. Thailand. It's not. I don't see New Zealand. I don't see Canada. I don't
No,
see
but-
America. I don't see.
But that's the thing. This
Sweden?
has very
What?
few countries. This doesn't have. That's the. It doesn't have Sweden. See, oh yeah, it does have
Yeah,
Sweden.
that is true.
Oh, Sweden is there. Sweden
Yeah,
is
so
good.
I don't see Sweden.
Exactly.
Our threshold for the World Progressive Society, Denmark. I
Exactly.
see Denmark, It's an Asian country. Take that.
Exactly.
I'm talking like we root for Asians. Let's say credit for Asians. Because India is not good enough, let's praise Asians.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Apparently Pakistan is lesser than Sweden. I mean, I don't know.
10%? That is what?
Yeah.
2016, but what? What does that mean?
I have no
Goes to
idea.
show. What? Yeah, well, man, we should explore this. We have a lot more to study, don't we?
Yeah.
Anyway, cool. We should look that up at some point.
But I think like that's
Okay,
what, as
what
I
else
said,
about
unadjusted is much more relevant and more like it is. I think we should like consider that much more than this. I think because
Sure,
that has much more
sure.
factors. So anyway, we can go.
Okay.
I think this is by age, and then this has a lot of data. So I'm gonna just skip a few graphs probably.
Sure.
So
You show us what you think's most relevant.
Yeah.
Because there's a time constraint. So
yeah, and then there is so
whatever the time constraint is, there is a constraint.
yeah, this one is the women in management positions. I think this one has Thailand
Yeah.
to be very high.
Right. It'll be again a minus. It should probably be a minus, right?
No, this one I think is
I mean,
50%. I
oh,
think.
no, percentage of people in high percentage. Right. It
Yeah.
should be higher percentage.
Yeah,
Maybe it was on the chart or map.
50% Dominican Republic, United States. Where is Thailand in this? What was it? Why is there no Thailand? Can I add countries or what?
Check chart and maps. I feel like they show different countries. Maybe we found it there.
Thailand 29.5%. Okay.
29.4, which is pretty good, but it's not the highest,
Yeah,
right?
it's not
What's the
the
highest we
highest.
saw? Where do we see?
I think that was some other chart. I think
30%. Right. Maybe.
10% in
Maybe
India.
not the position. So we're still unsure why they get paid more on average. But this is definitely a contributor, undoubtedly.
Firms with female
What are they above
managers.
50%?
Okay, managers. I think
Oh,
maybe it was some other
same
graph
thing
I'm
then.
missing.
Okay.
Income
Do we want to talk
distribution.
about the manager thing though?
I mean, it's kind of the same thing. I think it's like the higher level
What is that?
positions, higher level women in management positions,
That's
top managers.
Right. So CEO, top manager. So okay, these are regional wise.
Yeah.
Okay.
For some
I
reason,
think this is from others from World Bank.
East Asia and Pacific is the highest for some reason. Okay.
Yeah. Thailand might be a contributor. Which are the highest in managers from that list you showed? You showed table now. Where do we see 50? Is a 50?
Dominican Republic.
That's a small.
Yeah.
That's a small
United
Caribbean
States,
country,
US.
right?
US is 40%, which is very high. Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, that's pretty high.
Yeah, that's very high.
That's all.
Sweden, not bad.
40. Yeah. Let's see. Asia. Where are the Asian countries?
Bangladesh,
I hope they
UAE.
mentioned Japan. Oh, Bangladesh is doing well. Oh,
No,
10%,
they're not.
too much.
11%. They are the lowest in this list
Right.
at
No,
least.
right.
Luxembourg is surprising.
And,
I thought Luxembourg is like a. Okay. I don't know. This doesn't. It's not. It's very. Doesn't tell much. I guess.
It seems like the countries they selected are arbitrary, right?
Yeah, it's all over the place. It's very all over the place.
Yeah. No pattern in
Yeah.
deciding what countries to be displayed. But I wish they showed South Korea and Japan for sure. Some reason, I don't know. I like to take them as our threshold.
That's
rather
why
than,
I think we should just.
Western countries.
Well, I think we should just go to WEF, which has lots more countries. So we'll just move ahead in this.
Sure. Makes sense.
Yeah. So this one is representation of women at top.
Maybe
of
you
the
can just mention, like, you read the headings and then just mention what they discuss briefly, even though you're skipping it.
Yeah. I mean, the two charts.
This is usual. This is fine.
Representation of women in low-paying jobs.
Right. So yes, this will have to do with labor.
Yeah.
So the labor market, the service jobs, the non-managerial positions,
Right.
which is, I think, one of the biggest contributors to the money. In a country, like, most of the money comes from the labor. Like, if you see wages to people, if you take the sexes, there'll be a small proportion of people.
And I'm very surprised that there's like data on like in Pakistan and all, and no India. That's what I'm very surprised about. That's why this seemed a
I
little
don't thi-
weird.
Yeah, I don't think that they don't have the data. There's a reason for them to select certain countries, and that we can't figure out. That's the problem.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, this one is just low income paying jobs. So Armenia, Austria, Bulgaria. This is also all over the place. So I don't know. Maybe we should just move on. I think.
Armenia, Australia, Austria, Bulgaria, all Soviets? Are they? I don't know.
No. Austria isn't.
No.
Armenia, I think, is Bulgaria.
Austria, is it? You sure? Austria was it?
No,
sure,
no.
Huh?
Yeah, Austria is like very west. It's western.
Way towards to the west.
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Armenia, Turkey. I remember they have some issues with that. Yeah.
Right, Canada. Okay. Czech Republic, Finland. Anyways, this doesn't say much, I would say. So let's just go ahead.
Start.
Yeah, control over household resources. So this one, I guess this is not really wages. This is like what percent of so percentage of women not involved in decisions about their own income. Okay, there's own income and there is so I guess like women earn and then
household income.
Yeah, but then women are the ones earning though, and then
right.
household income.
Yeah, that's when they're talking about personal earned income, and then there's the household earned income. Just trying to draw that distinction.
Right.
And if I'm not wrong, Chintan, you'll correct me, but household earned income is primarily controlled by the man because they make better decisions with money, right?
But that's the thing, like, I think, see, in many countries, women have limited influence over...
Wait, let me clarify. Like a woman is not smart enough to spend the money, right? They don't know anything.
Very okay. Your sexist joke is over, or what?
Okay, sorry. Go on. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Go on.
Okay. In many countries, women have limited influence over important household decisions. So, but that's the thing. Like, I think I remember discussing where few countries it was pretty surprising that there was another this thing. Maybe it's land ownership is more often in the hands of men. Okay. Genetic inheritance system. Okay.
You keep jumping up and down, bro.
No, I keep remembering something and I'm thinking, is this it or is this not?
That's okay. That's fine. You read this and you just see whatever you can recall from this, you just discuss.
So women participating in major purchase decisions. 93% in Cambodia are done by women. Ukraine.
Right. So this is household income. This is all the money in a household, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. And I know there's a cultural aspect to that. That's even there in India. I don't know the extent, but
sure.
Like a household spending, like my mom always thought she should take care of the money. Although my dad was a little he was more hesitant to give all the decisions to her, but there's this idea that the woman should take care of the money in the house, and she had that too. Especially cultural. There's a cultural aspect, at least from the line I come from.
Right.
So the line of ancestry, I mean. So I can understand that. I can see that's not too surprising. I think that's a general thing. In the household, let the woman take care of the money and spend because she has to take care of the house, the health. So the money is where all these spending will go. It's understandable it would be that high. Where is it low? The sound of the risk. Is it those?
Wait, so there is India in this as well. Where is India?
Is it those sexist Muslims doing all the bad work?
Not really. See, in Pakistan it's 47%. I mean, I don't know, it's 50-50 types, I guess. In India, it's 50 to 53% in India. I mean, I don't know. In this, as you said, it's very cultural and everything. It's not. I mean, I wouldn't say this determines if like I don't know, maybe not also.
If the country is sexist, you mean?
Yeah. See, it's very low in Mali.
Let's see Middle Eastern country. That's still an Asian country. That's South Asia. Show me.
Afghanistan.
Pakistan, there's a lot of South Asian influence. Even Afghanistan. Let's go more Middle East. Afghanistan has too much South Asian influence. Let's go Middle East.
Yemen 50%.
Any country.
Yemen.
Yeah, okay. That's pretty good, given how bad the country is in.
Exactly.
The shape of the country. I mean the economic and political stability. Egypt. What's Egypt?
Egypt is 66.
See, this is generally, I think it's a cultural thing across the world.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my point.
Yeah. That's what like women just help out in purchase decision. I guess this also about we focus choose how own personal income is spent. Okay. It says limited influence over important household decisions, but still most countries have above 50%, so I don't know.
So I think below 50 is their case, right? They can make a case if it's below 50. So let's see the countries which are below 50 if they show any.
Yemen, Gambia,
Cameroon, Guinea, Togo,
Pakistan, Tanzania, Afghanistan, Chad,
Afghanistan,
Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria,
Cote d'Ivoire,
Niger.
Niger
Niger
Burkina
is,
Faso. Africa. It's basically North Africa, Middle Africa,
yeah,
right?
yep, looks like it.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. This
I
doesn't.
wonder they're not showing any Middle Eastern country. No Saudi, no Saudi. Saudi is like the biggest country. Iran. I wish Iran was shown. Can't find that either. Okay. So I guess there are still problems. So they have a clear case in these countries. These countries are significantly a problem. Nor are the women allowed to work. It looks like nor are they allowed to make decisions based on the money they have. That's a problem.
So there's land
I'm sure
ownership.
they'll argue it's worth it.
Is more often in the hands of men. Okay, land ownership. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, so highest is only 51%. Okay, this kind of tells. I mean, it kind of makes sense, I guess. In India also. In India also, I guess what you told me was very surprising. That in Kerala, women get more than men. That was very surprising to me. That was.
Is that what I told you? Or did I state it as a fact? Because I can't remember where I read it.
I think
I
you
can
told.
tell you, my family.
Yeah, your family. Oh, you didn't say Kerala. You said your family. Yeah.
My family.
Your family.
Yeah. So my family in India, Chintan will know that hopefully a lot of listeners, that caste is a big deal. And the caste I come from, it's a matriarchal ethnicity, let's call it. And for example, my mom gets the highest share of the ancestral land. Right. And I have a friend, she's from Assam, and her family is true. It's a tribe in Assam, and they're a matriarchal a family line as well, a tribe. And they do the same thing. I don't know about land, but a lot of things, a lot more importance, more worship to women, more importance to women, more advantages to women. Women have to be educated, a lot of decisions. They get first pick on many things, and stuff like that. So it's supposed to say. I think it's equalized over my generation, my dad's generation. Maybe my generation. We don't have, I guess, many females in our generation. But yeah, it's not one or the other way now. I think it's more equal now. Maybe to detriment to women advantage. I don't know.
But yeah, clearly men own much more land than women, according to this chart.
Yeah. So there's the same thing. Inheritance.
Yeah.
Inheritance.
Yeah.
A lot of it is inheritance.
So Pakistan 13%. Okay, I wonder where India is. There's no India in this. Yeah, this is
saved us the embarrassments.
I mean, these are countries only which are like lower income and developing countries. This doesn't have. I guess it's, yeah. It just shows that. I mean, it probably means that all these Western countries, it's pretty much 50-50. I mean, or maybe.
Right. Maybe not. Because when you come, that's an argument they even do with the race, right? America, blacks don't have many property, so I would imagine property hasn't been distributed so evenly as such. A lot of it has to do with inheritance, I'm telling you, because those who inherit, and that's changing maybe, the trends might be positive.
But see, in Western world, if I had to guess, if parents have like a boy and a girl, they probably give it like 50-50 to both of them, right?
That's true. There might be, but the point is that even if you did it 2 or 3 generations ago, that kind of habit, I don't know if it was done before 2 or 3 generations. If that started 2 or 3 generations ago, it still wouldn't have made significant changes, my guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean 50-50, right? 50-50 is, what do you mean? Like,
so if 2 generations ago they were owned by the sexist white folk.
Oh, okay.
Even after 1 or 2 generations through inheritance, it doesn't distribute as ideally as we want, even though the current generations are not sexist.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Maybe, yeah.
I think. I mean, I'm not sure, but
yeah. But yeah, it's crazy, though. It's in these countries, it's crazy. I mean, so low.
It's quite low.
Yeah, it's very, very low.
Is this a significant demonstration of general patriarchal?
I would say so. For me, it is. For me, it is. Obviously,
ask the question.
Obviously, it is cultural. I mean, culture doesn't mean it's right. So, so for me, it is. I would say.
Yeah. 100%. No, the question is whether culture was patriarchally oppressive.
Yeah, right.
If I pronounce it right, that's the question. And it seems like, right, this fact seems to demonstrate that.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I guess the contrarian may just say maybe, but I'm not sure either. It does. There's a good case. They have a good argument.
I guess a little more surprising map is this: do married men and women have equal ownership rights to property? So blue is yes and red is no.
Yeah. See, this is my point. That even if today's society is the case, given how it's all inherited, it doesn't distribute accordingly. I don't know.
So you're saying
that just seems
you're saying this yes doesn't mean it's 50-50. That's what you're saying. But no, it's equal. Have equal ownership rights to property. I don't know what exactly this means.
Right. I'm thinking of inherited property. This is all property, right? Yeah. I don't know what that means.
So ownership
even in my family, right? This apartment, it might be in your family too, but like in my family, the apartment I live in is most of the property is in my mom's name. My dad does all this. He always does that.
Oh, okay.
It's all signed and done. So I don't know if that's a trend in most families, but
right.
So
I don't know how it is in my family.
Yeah. It's possible of that. Yeah, it's possible of that.
Right. Yeah, so ownership rights covers the ability to manage, control, administer, access, encumber, receive, dispose of, and transfer property. Yeah, I guess you are kind of right.
So basically it's ownership. Yeah. It's ownership. Yeah. No, right about what?
About, that's what, like, women also just ownership, as you said, like, your mom kind of owns instead of your dad, right?
Yeah. So that's a good thing, right? That demonstrates that it's less sex. It's a statistic that can be used by the non-feminists.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but all I'm trying to say is, I'm still unsure now. That's confused me. I don't know if.
The inheritance thing is your.
What's?
Yeah, tell me.
Okay. No, like if you go to the previous two stats, the previous one states what? No, the graph first. The married men and married women have equal ownership of this. Now, what does it say before that? What did we read?
This one was
land ownership is more often in the hands of men.
Doesn't make sense, no? I mean, I don't know.
Seems like a contradiction.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. What the hell?
Rights to property and ownership seems like a distinction they're trying to express, which I don't understand. They're trying to emphasize on. I don't know what that
ownership rights to property and.
Let's read this. Let's read ownership.
Men who own land alone. Okay.
And women who own land alone.
Oh wait, what? Oh, I didn't see women at all. Okay. Oh, so it's not 4.8% and 95.15 It's not that.
No.
Oh, okay.
4% of men own land.
And 1.3%.
Is that a country? Fuck, what?
No.
Is that a society that unequal?
No. I don't think that is it. Wait.
Armenia?
No,
see. Pakistan. We're just showing Pakistan.
See, women is 1.3 and men is 4.8.
Okay, maybe the rest of the land are co-owned. They're not owned alone.
Exactly. So this is married and this is unmarried, I guess. Or maybe not.
Right. Or not necessarily unmarried, but sole ownership, something like that. Because the property can be in multiple names. So for example, I'm giving my example. See, we have some ancestral land in Kerala, and that is owned by like 50 family members.
Okay.
You have that too in your place, wherever your homeland, right? So it's something like that. So I think that can't be considered. That won't be in this statistic. Men who own land alone. It can't be, can it? Can't. Doesn't seem like.
I'm confused. Women lack of control over important household assets.
No, think about it. If there's one piece of land, big land, owned by 50 members, there's no specificity in how they divide it. They have to mutually agree on how it's divided.
Yeah.
But it's owned by all of them. So you can't attribute that to one man. Man alone, or land alone. Alone means one single person. Right?
Yeah.
Men who own land alone. Yeah. I think it's one single person. So I think 4% of our men own some land on their own. Armenian people.
No, got it.
1% of the
So
women also.
I'll tell you what it is.
I
Like
think so.
you said your
Yeah.
your house is in your mom's name, right? So
Yeah.
that would come under
Yeah.
this category.
Yeah.
Women who own land alone,
Right.
percentage of women.
Right.
So that's
right.
what that'll come under
Right.
this. So
Right.
that way, if you see,
But
there is still that's what inequality, I guess. So let's say in Pakistan.
no, what's the distinction? You still didn't elaborate on the distinction. What is the other one? Married men. So they own it together?
No. This is not.
Rights?
Yeah. Do married men and women have equal ownership rights to property? So it's like for example, your house would be under your dad as well as your mom's name.
Correct.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's what it is.
Got it. Yeah, so that's good. Cool. So 1% of all women in Armenia own land on their own, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's saying.
Yeah, 1.3%, and men are 4.8%.
That's like what? That's a large difference.
Yeah. So
But
see Pakistan,
I probably want
13.4 and 2.
8 times.
You could say that
times, right?
you could say that this also comes under like men having control over lands and things like that. So, but yeah, I don't know.
Right. Okay. So 7 times more. I guess it's a big difference, but it could be. It demonstrates something, sure. Again, it certainly demonstrates a historical patriarchy, maybe.
Yeah.
Then there's also the question of importance of land ownership, and I guess it seems obvious that it's very important.
No, definitely there is discrepancy because, for example, in your case, it's in your mom's name, but it belongs to all of you, right? So it's not exactly. It doesn't mean your mom is like it's my
right. So right, exactly. So if a guy owns it, doesn't mean everything's his, right? Like it's a family.
It does.
Yeah, for sure.
Doesn't mean that, but it does indicate a little bit, though. But yeah.
Sure. Like I said, it's an argument I could use, but there needs to be a lot more nuance.
Correct.
I have a strong opinion based on that.
Correct. So let's go to inheritance, as you were saying. Inheritance is very indicative, I would say, according to religion and Western culture. So the Greens.
Again, religion.
Yeah. So the Greens.
Western culture.
Yeah. So Greens are where both gender like equally they inherit, women and men, and the Reds are where it isn't equal. So I guess men inherit more than women, kind of thing.
Sure. Awesome. Positive.
So it's mainly like these.
I mean the red one is positive. No, I meant the green one's positive. Never mind.
Yeah, the red ones are Pakistan, Iran, all these Muslim countries.
Chintan, you happy? You happy, Chintan? India's green, Pakistan's red. You happy?
Sure. Okay.
Right.
I don't hate Pakistan. I think.
But one of us has to be the gentleman in the stream. Yeah.
It's just competition. That's all. I don't hate Pakistan. I think.
Yeah. That's yeah. It's preference. It's not racism. Anyways.
Right. But I mean, this is pretty indicator. But okay, now let's move ahead, I guess. Gender difference in access to productive inputs are often large. Productive inputs. What are percentage of men and women who report borrowing any money in the past 12 months by themselves or together with someone else to start, operate, or expand a business? Okay. So table men versus women.
What is that? I wasn't paying attention. Do you have something?
So it is borrowing of money to start a business, basically start or expand a business.
Right. Access to credit. I remember reading it. Absolutely important statistic. Like business loans and funding. What are all those kind of things? Maybe even inheritance money. All those things.
Yeah, this website clearly needs to get better because in the percentage table there's nothing.
I agree, and it's not very convenient to understand quickly.
Yeah.
This graph is a classic graph. This is always a good one, but the tables are like weird.
Yeah. So I guess is
and mainly I think our problem is with the selection of countries.
Right. So that's what percentage of women versus percentage of men. Clearly, men borrow much more than women.
Right. It also has access to money, right? Not just access to the loans.
Yeah. Access and access and how much they borrow.
Participation, like also,
Yeah.
how much they borrow. One affects the other.
Yeah.
Wait, which is the highest and lowest? Any at least highest and lowest we have?
For some reason, Nigeria, there's a lot of.
In Myanmar, 20%. What does it say? 20% of women
versus
have access to money.
Yeah, versus 25%
for business.
So this is, see, you can see this line, right? This line indicates where men are more than women.
Oh, the diagonal you mean?
Yeah, the diagonal line. I think that's what it indicates. Yeah.
So above the diagonal, women are more. Below the diagonal, men are more.
Yes. This is where the world is.
So Zambia, Nigeria. Yeah. Got it. So Iran and all come in the middle. The world is in the middle. Okay.
It's not middle. Like men are more than women. Men are more than women.
Okay.
You can see this dotted line, right?
My favorite country. Yes, Oh no, I don't. I don't see it. So
you don't see this line. This line. Zambia line. Did you see this?
No, I don't see it. I don't see. No, I don't see
dotted line. Oh, okay.
You don't. It's true. The color in contrast is insufficient.
Right.
Okay, so South Korea is my favorite country. Is way below.
Yeah, so in South Korea, men are around 7.5%, women are around 2.5%.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead. Women's Economic Forum Index, Women's Opportunity Index, based on 5 underlying. Okay, this is okay. 5 underlying indicators: labor policy and practice, access to finance, education and training, women's legal and social status, and the general business environment. And it's a score between 0 and 100. Higher value.
What's more relevant?
Higher
what
means
I said
more.
Was more relevant here, not there.
Yeah.
Because in the other one was businesses. I think 20% women are running businesses. 25%. That was the statistic. Here it has to do with access.
Exactly. So higher the better. India is not very high. 41 is very low actually.
Sure.
Yeah. It's a score out of 100.
What's the highest? 100 out of 100.
Canada 83%. Sweden 90%.
See if you can find Iceland, Sweden. There they went. That's where they went.
So 2012. Wait, what is this? Both are 2012. What the hell is this? Sweden is highest, 90%. Awesome. Not 90%, 90 score. The score is 90, not percent.
90 score.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, this is not surprising. See, all these are like the Scandinavian countries, Germany, Netherlands, Canada.
What we'd consider the progressive Western developed societies.
Yes, where there's more equality
OECD.
than not. Yeah.
So OECD is this is mainly the Western countries, but it includes all the developed countries also. A lot more, like Japan and South Korea may be coming in. They're just a bunch of countries that decided to have open trade policies.
So Japan also very high. G20, Czech Republic.
G20 again, the top 20, I think, the 20 top countries.
Right. But this is a clear indication of inequality.
Access, sure. It's
inequality being there.
I guess that gap should be.
Because it has a lot of factors. See, labor policy and practice, access to finance, education, legal and social status, general business environment.
But that's the thing, dude. There's no labor policy which suggests that men have to get paid more. What is that policy? There's no government policy. Is it government policy? I don't get it. Education and training will come. A lot of it has been covered. Access to finance. Now this could be sexist. This would refer to like bankers being sexist.
Not just bankers. It could be like family also, right? Family not allowing women not going ahead.
Sure. Yeah. But that's the problem. Where's the data for it, right? I don't know. Women loans, like when you say policy and practice, right? It would have like woman-specific policies, like woman loans or woman investments, or woman finance from government.
Yeah, I mean those things will raise the bar. Those things exist because of inequality. So those things exist because of inequality.
Yeah.
Right? So you need to consider that.
Right. What I'm thinking is what is the root cause of the problem is those cultural things where you said the family don't give money. That is what should be changed, and I don't know if that can be done through policy. That's I
See,
guess,
that will also come in women's legal and social status. So that is also considered.
social status.
Yeah.
Again, legal and social, two very different things. But,
Right.
I wonder why they clubbed together. But anyways, we'll get to the discussion towards the
Yeah,
end.
This one is also pretty nice. Gender Inequality Index from the HDI report, Human Development Report, covers 3 dimensions:
Yeah.
reproductive health, empowerment, and economic status. It's a score from 0 to 1. India is very low, 0.5. Oh my god.
Oof.
Sucks, dude.
Hey,
Really sucks.
we're in, we're comparable to our best friend, Pakistan.
Yeah, which is bad. I mean, not bad. I mean,
Which
whatever.
is horrible.
Yeah.
It sucks. Oh gosh, those filthy people. Those filthy people.
Sure. Wait, so oh, so it's lower the better. Okay. Switzerland, Denmark, Netherlands, Sweden, Iceland, Norway.
Okay.
So the lower the better, higher it's worse. So it's reproductive health, empowerment, and economic status. Okay.
So look at it. It's Africa, Middle East, and South Asia. It's
Yeah.
concentrated.
Yeah.
These regions.
Yemen. Oh my god, Yemen
No,
is
even
one of
in fact, right.
the South
But
Asia
you know
also.
what? The thing is, it's not just a gender disparity in these regions. I think it's generally the health condition. It's a HDI report.
Right. Reproductive
Gender
health.
equality is bad. I'm sure a woman facing a lot of problems, but also the general, I think the medicinal health status of these countries might be poor. I guess India is not the case from my understanding, but no, I'm not advised.
No, yeah,
Alright.
reproductive health in India wouldn't be that great, I would say, if we had to guess, like in the rural areas and all. Yeah.
Lot of progress being made, but not sufficient.
For sure. Empowerment also.
What is that country that has been omitted and disregarded in South America? That has been
This is
discriminated against. Argentina. Maybe no data.
No data. Oh, Guyana. We were talking about Guyana. In South America, Guyana is the lowest. Oh God.
Right. Not surprising. I mean,
Is it?
if they're taking the Indian culture, maybe they're exporting our sexism as well.
Right. Right. 40% Indian Guyanese. Right. As we
Yeah.
know.
It's represent India sexism.
Wait, where is Suriname? Oh, it's here only. 0.5.
It's right next to it.
Right.
Oh, there you go. Not far behind.
Which is this? Papua New Guinea. Okay. Right.
Oh, even Africa is no data infected.
Yeah, a few of them. Nigeria, South Sudan.
Nigeria, surprising.
Yeah, very surprising. Madagascar. North Korea, obviously, but okay. Okay. Yeah, this. I mean, we are coming out of gender. I mean, pay and everything. This is all not related to pay gaps. So. But,
Okay. What is it related to? Development?
No, all these. Like even the previous one wasn't right. Yeah. I mean,
I see.
economic kind of, but still.
I see.
But yeah, this one is yeah. And then comes
The one we just done.
historical gender equality index. Okay. Oh, this is history. Let's. I think we should just go to adjusted pay gap. So.
We've only reached here now. Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as I had mentioned earlier, adjusted pay gap.
Yeah.
So it consists of and there was an evolution in adjustment as well. So there's first adjustment which which considers only human capital, which is the education and experience. So experience in, let's say, work experience, basically, whatever. And then there is
number of years worked.
Yeah.
Tenure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So and then there's next evolution, which is full range of co-varieties, which includes human capital, occupation, region, and race, which is a good thing, I would say, because region and race also matters because of Africa and South Asia and everything, I guess. So when all that comes into consideration.
I mean, worldwide, but this is just in US, so. Yeah,
oh yeah, what am I saying? Again, this is only US. Yeah. What am I saying? Right.
Yeah.
I forgot that again.
So it's inevitable that race was brought into the argument, but it's debates on it.
Right.
I don't know how much it affects. Chintan knows my views on it.
That's a different.
But like I said, open to change.
That's a different day. That's a different video. Yeah. But yeah. So basically,
Hey, white
what?
people should get paid more. White people get paid more because they're smarter, they work better, they're civilized. Black people,
Yeah.
it's
So
cheap.
basically, what this means is the first unadjusted is if it is 79%, women earn 80% of 100 of men, basically.
Yes.
And yeah, adjusted, and then when it comes to full specification, it's 91%. So after considering all those things, also there is disparity in the wage. So that's what this is.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, as I was mentioning earlier, adjusted makes much more sense because lots of things are considered. Yeah, I guess we can.
Yes, it does, for sure. It does.
Next, education.
Maybe I can illustrate that point. To illustrate the difference would be a woman. They would say woman. If you take a man and woman, compare two people, man is getting paid more at the end of the month, and the woman has a lower job. She doesn't. I mean, even if they have the same job, she might be working 2 hours a day, and the man works, I don't know, 8 hours a day, and they get. So there's clearly many things to be considered, and he's maybe doing a more nuanced job. He's not doing the same job. The CEO, CIO has a different job. Maybe if they both salespeople, the man maybe gets in more sales. So there are multiple factors to consider. Obviously, like you just see the final salary, it's insufficient.
True, but why does it say education and experience have become much less important in explaining gender difference in wages in US? Okay. In this chart, we can.
That would mean, yes. I would also say there might have also contributed. It might be true generally of anyone getting a job, not just differences between gender. That makes sense?
Say that again.
Okay, so what does the statement say in the beginning? Education and experience have become much less important in explaining gender differences in wages.
Okay, so we can say that. See that here. This graph explains the other things. So experience is this. Education is here. Occupation, industry, unionization, race, region, unexplained. Okay. Unexplained percentage refers to the residual that remains after all other factors are accounted for. It is often seen as discrimination. Okay.
So I'm still unclear. What do you mean? When I see experience 21% and experience 14%, what does that mean?
So shown are the fractions of the total gender wage gap accounted for by different labor market variables. Occupation, for example, refers to gender differences in occupation. Lawyer versus teacher. Oh, okay. So it considers all these occupation and everything. So see I mean, experience, obviously it does matter, 14%. But occupation matters a lot because I can give an example.
I think what it's saying is, I just want to say this percentage thing. I think what it's saying is 14% experience contributes to 14% of the gender gap. Am I correct?
Oh yeah, exactly.
In wage gap?
Yeah.
So you're saying about occupation?
Yeah, occupation. That's what, I think we've talked about this, right? I mean, it's a common example given by non-feminists, I guess, but that say that if women are, let's say a girl is chooses being a nurse and a guy chooses, let's say, some engineering or something, the girl is choosing to become a nurse, but she'll be paid less. So by occupation, it consists of. So that's what the gap is, 32%.
It's a big contribution to.
Yeah. So the main thing from this is that there is unexplained 38%, which kind of matters, which is discrimination, right? Which is often seen as discrimination. Maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe a lot of it is not discrimination, but still 38% is pretty alarming, which is very high.
That illustrates two things, Jen. Not just that it could be discrimination, it also illustrates that we don't have enough data and we don't know. We don't have the data and we can't. We can only speculate, like culture and all this. That's one dimension, and it'll never be enough. I think ultimately now, because there are going to be an infinite number of factors. I think, but we try to do the best we can. Yes.
That's true. Yeah. But education, for some reason, it's minus 5.9. 9%. So does that mean that the same educated man, like a
What does
girl
that
and a
mean?
boy, uh,
Yeah. Women will be paid more.
yeah, the men will be paid more.
Oh, is that what it means?
Yeah, because this means that this much percent. Uh, yeah, I think that's what that means. This much percent of.
Accounted for by different people.
I think
Okay.
there's another map which we can, this map kind of is very interesting, I would say. I mean, pretty interesting. So this one,
Yeah.
so the first one is just generally.
Well, we just jump through the graph. Okay. I guess
No,
we skip that graph for now.
no,
Let's
that
stick to
graph,
this.
it's the same. It's the same thing. Here also, it's education and
Oh,
experience.
it's the same thing.
I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
not the same, but it considers education and
I was
experience.
wondering, it just skimmed through like.
No.
Okay, like, no, forget, we don't.
No. This one, see, this map is about education only. That's why. So see,
Okay.
so this is generally which is I think unadjusted. Women earn lower wages than men all over the world. So they are giving an example of Bolivia.
Okay.
Bolivia gender wage gap is 22%. Okay, and then we consider education.
Okay.
Education cannot explain these
Okay.
differences because in equally educated men and women, the gap increases by 18%. If you consider only education in Bolivia, this is, but we, I think in India and all, if you are equally educated, it's much better.
Yeah.
It decreases by 50 to 10%.
So what they say, even equally educated. Okay, the first one just says the general gap, right? The wage gap considering nothing, just pure wages, 20% of the average wage gap. Second one says if you take into education consideration, education consideration, all equally educated men and women, men are paid more by 18%.
In Bolivia, I think
So
in general also I think
they're just giving it as a
in general also I think it decreases though. That's what this was saying. Minus 5.9%.
Oh, in general decrease.
No, not in general. This is in the US. Sorry, this is in the US. Again, this is the US.
Right. Minus 5.9 again, I think means women get 5.9% more.
No. So I think it means I think it means that the pay gap decreases by.
Correct. 5% if you take education. You're right. I think you're right. 6%. Yeah.
I think that's what it means.
Right. Yeah.
And then the next one is but gender differences in occupation and industry of employment can to a large extent. Exactly. So occupation and industry of employment. So nurse and the engineer example, I guess. As that is considered
look at the amount of blue.
Exactly. Yeah.
Look at the amount of blue.
Exactly. The gender wage gap decreases by 39%. When the differences in occupation and industry employment between men and women disappear.
Right.
So that's what
women need to do better.
No,
women need to pick better jobs. That's what you're telling me, Nurses are ignoble jobs, and who wants to be a nurse? Who wants to be a doctor? Who wants to be in the humanities?
That is a common argument in the Western world, but I still believe there is obviously that is not the only factor. There's a lot more as we were discussing here. The unexplained will have lots of sexist stuff and sexism, I would say.
Right.
But yeah, pretty interesting. So, okay, next one I guess. Looking beyond worker characteristics, job flexibility. This is not that interesting, I would say. I don't know. Motherhood penalty. Right. So this one is also a very widely used argument by these Western arguers against feminism.
This is an obvious. This is a key difference, and this is a very important. To me, it's very relevant. A big contributing factor. To either way, whether it's sexist or not, because we do need to do more for women because of their biological differences, and also we should recognize that it creates a lot of disparity, which should be addressed.
Exactly.
Here, I feel there's a truce. Both sides should come to it, and meaningful truth.
Yeah, I mean it clearly it indicates also. So earnings relative to event time. So after first childbirth, the earnings is much lesser in women. After first childbirth in men, it is equal. It is the same. It doesn't really decrease.
Right. Right.
So yeah, so
And here, I think we could do things to address it, whatever it is. Maybe there should be extra additional steps.
no, so see, there is the grayer. This thing is female without kid earning. So the females with, if they don't have
it's
kids,
almost the same.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Yeah. This is in America, I would presume, but it'd be awesome if it's a worldwide trend.
I wouldn't be surprised if it is worldwide, but I don't know.
But this is something everyone should. Maybe we can address as a society.
Oh, I think this is
feel
from
like we could come
Denmark.
in agreement.
I think this is from Denmark. I think.
Oh, is it? Provide evidence from Denmark? Maybe not.
No, maybe not. This is.
Okay, check the source. Zoom in and check the source. We can scroll and check. Scroll down.
Camille Landis and Jacob.
Oh, it is Denmark.
It is Denmark, yeah.
Oh, but is it data of Denmark? Evidence from Denmark? Maybe it's Denmark. I'd say it's Denmark.
No, it says
In
Denmark
fact,
evidence.
I assume a lot of the countries don't have the data on it also.
Yeah.
I think it's Denmark. Maybe it's a worldwide trend. If definitely the worldwide trend, there'll be a disparity. There'll be a difference.
Yeah, for sure.
Between women. There'll be a significant difference between women who are giving childbirth.
For sure.
Alright, so that is understandable.
Yeah,
We
that's
can go
pretty.
to the next one.
Ability, personality, and social norms, discrimination and bias.
Those are the key controversial points. This is
Ability.
where culture comes in, right? Social norms, personality. This is because now we're talking about what are feminine traits, what are feminine choose, the jobs they pick, the cultural discrimination, all those things which don't have the data.
Right.
I presume. Maths, women's affinity towards the sciences, natural sciences, and the women's with sociological subjects. Yeah, lot of factors. I can imagine that.
Yeah, I agree.
The
Yeah, I
classic
mean,
JP thing. Men
yeah.
like things, women like people.
So yeah, I guess this is another graph which is kind of interesting. So are non-pregnant and non-nursing women allowed to do the same jobs as men? It's kind of a big factor, I guess, because lots of no's.
Okay.
So the pinks are all no's and the greens are all yes.
I see.
Yeah.
Are non-pregnant and non-nursing women allowed
Yes.
to...
So basically women be behind this line.
Right.
Like until here,
Right.
are they allowed to do the same jobs?
The green, yeah.
This is pretty discriminatory, I would say. So if a girl wants to also,
But,
I mean, we
but
don't.
how do they determine whether they're allowed? This is again a cultural thing. It can't be a legal thing, obviously.
I mean, I don't know.
It's a cultural restriction. It can't be a legal restriction. What are we talking
No,
about?
legal in the sense like a company which is private can enforce that, like not knowingly or something.
Yeah,
right?
sure. Again, that's again part of the culture, I presume. It's a cultural thing. Why would a company, unless it's physically impossible? Are there things that are physically impossible for women to do? I don't know. If that's the case, then we should probably consider it. But are non-pregnant and non-nursing allowed to do the same job? So when they say no, they mean mostly no, right? It can't be entirely no, obviously.
Probably.
Because not probably, definitely, right? I mean, they're women laborers, women managers, men managers.
Yeah.
They're women saleswomen, men saleswomen.
Maybe some countries are there where let's say
there are
some
specific jobs. There are some jobs.
some countries where they're not allowed to like join the army at all or something. Some Muslim countries or something. I don't know.
Sure, but yeah. So they're saying specific jobs, not all jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it can't be all jobs, right?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, yeah.
So it's specific jobs. So these countries have no specific jobs, which okay. That's something to think about. Are there jobs which only men can do? No, right? I guess there shouldn't be.
No, but these are specific, right? So
yeah.
That there are.
No, but the question is, are there any jobs at all like that where only men can do? What would it be? Even like let's think about India because we know India or any country. Saudi, okay, maybe.
As I said, right? Army maybe.
So Saudi would be something like driving. Driving aren't allowed in Saudi.
Right.
Even legally, yeah, until recently.
Yeah.
What would it be in India? Could you guess? I don't know. Cooks. Maybe priests. I don't know. Priest's job. Like what else?
Oh yeah, maybe.
What could it be?
Maybe.
Something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's confusing.
Oh yeah, priests actually makes sense actually. Why is France a no? What the hell? What is this? France is no. Czech Republic
Is that
is
France?
no.
That's quite big.
Croatia,
I don't know what these specific jobs could be.
Turkey.
It could be like let's see, physical labor. Strength. Fighting? Maybe fighting? I don't know. Maybe. No, but women boxers are there. What could it be? I can't imagine. Some sports. Maybe certain sports. I don't know. Hard for me to imagine what those jobs could be.
Oh, Indonesia is a
Unless they
yes.
realistically-
Oh, that's surprising to me. That's nice. That's very.
It's not, because I still don't know what jobs they're talking about. None of this is surprising.
No,
I have no idea
I'm
what
only
they're-
surprised.
It's hard.
Surprising seeing this list, like as in seeing the green, comparing greens and reds. I mean pinks, whatever.
Okay.
I'm just surprised by that.
It's just nice.
But
I don't know what these mean. It's just hard for me to understand this. The way they'll describe it, we should probably read. If you read, I'm sure we'll figure it out.
Exactly. But yeah, that's kind of what was interesting in this our world and data, I guess. So we could move to World Economic
Right.
Forum that Arun has kind of extensively read the summary. At least summary itself, I think, was huge, right? Like some 33 pages or something.
So there are 300 pages, and I read 33 of it, which gets into before detail. Before we go on, just that discrimination and bias.
Yeah, you want to read
They're
this?
saying doctors and lawyers, like I guess women aren't allowed to join this profession. So it's a lot of it is cultural. You see, it can't be.
Which country doesn't allow doctors and lawyers to be women?
I don't know. I think she touches on some well-known restrictions, such as those against the training and employment of women as doctors.
Oh.
So it's to do with these kind of popular notions. But where is this data? It's hard to say. It might be something like in these countries, 90% of the doctors are male or something like that. Maybe that's it. So doctors is clearly not an issue.
Oh,
here.
see, in the US, around World War II, it is estimated that 87% of all schools and school boards would not hire a married woman, and 70% would not retain an unmarried woman who married. So I guess something like that. So I guess it doesn't mean like
There
they
you
don't.
go.
Yeah. So
Right. So companies also that
companies it doesn't mean that.
organizations, entities.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean that
I guess it's a formal declaration or formal policy by these, something like that.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that
What do you
that entire job doesn't include them, but maybe like more than 50% of the companies related to that job don't hire women or something like that, I guess.
Right. Now that's a questionable thing then, right? Because I would want a man to fix. They're physically more capable. I mean, sorry if that sounds sexist, but I generally believe they're likely more physically capable, and I'd prefer. Wouldn't a man be able to work more, take more? I don't know.
Like, I mean, that's kind of the argument with army also, I think. Army also, men are more capable.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
it's a good example. You'd have more men in the army because they're likely going to win a fight.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's a hard argument. Alright, but yeah, I guess this is where the controversy begins. So,
Many other studies
Same
have
as-
found
same
similar
as
evidence
this
of bias in different labor market contexts. Biases also operate in other spheres of life with strong knock-on effects on labor market outcomes. For example, at the end of World War II, only 18% of people in the US thought that a wife should work if her husband was able to support her. Right. Obviously, circles back to our earlier point about social norms. Right?
should work if her husband was able to support her. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's particular sexist, but I guess I would change the word should with
No.
should is fine. If it were could, it would be controversial.
No, should is also not fine. What do you mean? This is very sexist for me.
It's not. I generally believe that's the case.
Your battery level
I
is
think
low. Your battery level is low. You're gonna cut off.
What do I do? Oh wait, hold on. Give me a moment.
Yeah.
Maybe we can take the commercial.
Yeah,
It's good time.
let's take a commercial break. I'll just pause till then.
Yeah.
And we are back. Okay. So what we were discussing was
Right.
this. So how is this not sexist? It is very sexist. So only 18% of the people thought that a wife should work. Why do like people shouldn't think that a wife should work or not if the husband is able to support or not. Whatever she wants to do, let her do types. It's not based
Thought
on.
that a wife. Let me read it again.
Yeah.
The US thought that a wife should work if her husband. Oh right. So let me make my case. Maybe it's sexist. I
It
don't
is
know.
very sexist.
My case is. Let me make my case.
Okay.
I get it. You have an opinion. We just said. Let me make my case.
No, I don't think anything can convince me, but okay, fine. Go ahead.
You can convince. It's maybe sexist, but hopefully it can convince you that it's not immoral. Let's say.
For me, it is okay. Fine.
I will. God, let me make my point. Yes, Chandra, we heard you. It is a sexist comment. Let me make my point, and then you tell me. If I have a wife, I would want her to be free and do whatever she likes doing. She shouldn't be bogged down thinking about money and all these kind of things. I have so much more respect for my wife than the people who think she should be working. I don't think she should be working. I think she should be free. If she decides that she wants to work, fine, go ahead, do it. But I genuinely feel she'll be a happier life and it'll be a gift for me if I could take the burden of work and she shouldn't do it. Tell me what's immoral with that.
Right. I guess this wait only 18%.
Tell me what's immoral with that, because you're so insistent on saying it's sexist. Tell me. What's immoral with what?
Wait. Maybe I'm also understanding this wrong. Wait, only 18% of people in the US thought that a wife should.
That's why I said should and could. Could is different. Could would be controversial. Or maybe the other way. But that's why I said should and could is the key difference.
Right. Okay, I guess, yeah, maybe.
Because that would mean 78% of the people thought that a wife can't work. Not that they shouldn't work. That they can't work, the opposite. 82%.
72%. 82%, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. So should and could is the difference. If I said she can't work, and if I said she shouldn't work, is two different things. I genuinely believe she should. I shouldn't work. No human in the world should work. It's just the nature of the world. But I genuinely think I would be gifting my wife, and I feel so happy that allowed her, that made her happy. But if she believed she wanted to work and she was confident and she wanted to do it, she wanted to go through these kind of stressful.
But the sexist part here is if her husband was able to support her. Like, it shouldn't matter. That's the thing. Like, it shouldn't matter if her husband was able to support her or not. Like, it should. Like, wife should be.
But that's the nature of the question. The question was asked for that. The question. That doesn't mean if she wasn't able to support her that she shouldn't. That's the problem with the leading question.
Yeah.
That doesn't suggest that they don't.
Yeah.
That's the leading question. The survey was asked for that.
No, that makes sense. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Right.
So yeah. In fact, I wish this was an original thought. Although this is again a classical right-wing argument, and that's why you'd agree it's not that immoral an idea.
Probably Christopher Hitchens would have made that point.
The Christopher Hitchens. You said it before, I thought it was. But that's the argument, and he was accused of being sexist as well.
Yeah.
He didn't give the elaborate explanation I gave.
Yeah.
But this is my explanation. But I think he would have said the same thing. But this is Christopher Hitchens. Again, you could argue Christopher Hitchens was a sexist, and you can keep calling him immoral and sexist, and that's your problem.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to World Economic Forum.
Right. Now, given how we overshot our time commitments in the first thing, I thought a lot of it is the same. There's a huge overlap.
Mm-hmm.
So I will try to summarize even my summary and their summary, super summary, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I'll just read out a lot of interesting facts I've noted down from the report.
Mm-hmm.
And first I should go. So World Economic Forum every year they come up with the finding. They come up with a report on gender parity, as they described it, and they try to determine how much progress society and the world is making in reducing the differences between men and women. In 4 primary fields, and they call them sub-indexes. And they're primarily focusing on political empowerment, educational opportunities and participation, what else? Health.
So it's health, education, economy, and politics. That's what it says over here, see.
Right. So the title of the sub-indexes would be a little more elaborate, slightly more elaborate, but they say economic opportunities and what's that? What do they say? And oh God, you threw me off. Okay, anyways, political empowerment, economic opportunity and participation, education is something, health and something. But yeah, primarily these things. To summarize it, I'm just trying to be a little more pedantic, but it's health, education, economy and politics. So these are the 4 indexes they measure, and then they come up with the aggregate index, which ranks these countries, and they come with worldwide rankings. And it's an awesome idea. They've been doing it since 2006. I believe the number of countries have been increasing since then. They've increased it to 159 countries that participate. They have certain criteria for selecting these countries. It's only countries that have sufficient data provided, mainly.
I think it's 153.
Have that, so 153. My bad. Apologies. And what else should I say about it? Yeah, so a lot of countries, some of the countries have been going in and out of the index. Some of them have been there consistently. I think over 101 countries have been there since the first list in 2006. So yeah. I would like to say, for those of you who are looking to live in a society that has gender parity, that is gender equal, the signs are encouraging. Maybe not encouraging enough, but it is progressing.
These are the four
categories.
These are the 4 categories, by the way.
There you go. You want to read it out?
Economic participation and opportunity, educational attainment, health and survival, and political empowerment.
There you go.
Right. So the first list, I guess, is
it's probably best.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's right. Let's go to the list. No, go on. Tell me. What's the first list?
Yeah, the first list is just general global general agenda gap index 2020 rankings. So this is like basically just ranking the countries based on I think the gender gap index.
Right. So I'll just shoot out a few statistics. Yeah, go on.
So this considers those 4 things, right? This is like the average of all 4 things.
Yep. Aggregate. Yes, maybe average, some kind of addition and divided by 4, something like an average. Must be an average. It's an aggregate of global gender gap. I'll just mention a few statistics to do with that listing ranking is showing. Iceland has been number 1 for the 11th time in a row.
Ooh. Nice.
Overall gap of 88%. The others you can see in the list: New Zealand, Finland. This is one statistic there.
Can you see? You can read this, right?
Like,
how it's really like.
I can.
Is this better or?
Yeah, this is better. This is better.
Yeah, this is better.
The other one better. Much better.
So there's 153 countries. The last one is Yemen. First is Iceland, as you mentioned.
I might even zoom in a little more.
Okay.
Yeah, beautiful. Go on.
So first is Iceland and in the list, and last is Yemen in the list. Let's kind of, I guess, just see the rankings of the countries that we care about. India is 112th, which is really low. United States is, I think, 53. United States is 53rd. Otherwise, these Scandinavian countries, being not very surprising, top 5, top 10, whatever. Iceland, Norway, Finland, Sweden. Nicaragua is...
Yep, not surprising.
Wait, Nicaragua is where? Nicaragua is in...
Latin America.
Right. I guess that is a little...
It's crazy. No, I have some things I could talk about them, actually. Nicaragua. It is one of... it is a new entrant, I believe, to the list. Let me just confirm that. You can stay on the list. They have actually a high political participation, so that gives them a lot of high points. But let's see, Nicaragua.
Otherwise, it's New Zealand, Ireland, Spain, Rwanda, Germany. Rwanda is 9th. What? Okay, that is another surprising thing.
Is that right? Right. Oh, sorry, Nicaragua is part of the top 10. Yeah. Nothing. Yeah, I don't have much about Nicaragua.
I think Rwanda
is surprising.
I think Rwanda, you had something about Rwanda, right? About that there was some war, civil war, and men all died.
No, yeah, I forgot the cause of it.
Right.
But you're right. A lot of men have died. Maybe it was a civil war. There's one. Actually, I want to do small segments of this, but I'm underprepared for today's discussion because we have a lot of content. But yes, women get paid more than men. Basically, there are more women participating in the labor workforce.
Right.
You know what, Chintan? Now, while we're on this list, I think it's a good time to just to state a few facts of the summary. So they have a summary in the beginning of this. You can stay on the list. I'll just read some interesting things on the list. Globally, the average distance they're talking about the gap, the distance of the gap, population weighted, completed to parity is 68%. The world global gap, so that means women are at 69% of that of what men are.
Right. Wait, hold on.
Which means
I'm not
30,
sure.
the gap. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I just thought I hadn't unpaused it. Okay, go ahead. My bad.
So we're recording, right?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, cool. So the gap is basically 31.4% global gap.
31.4%. Okay.
Right. 101 of the 149 countries covered last year have increased their scores.
Okay, that's good. That's a good sign. That's a good sign.
Yeah, that's what I was. It's a hopeful sign. Maybe not sufficient, but hopeful. Countries both this year and last year increased their scores.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you consider probably like the last 10 years, it will be like probably almost all countries, I would say. But I don't know. Maybe a few other
Last no. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's artists. Last 10 years, maybe it's possible. Maybe not. No, not all countries. Like from last year, not all countries have improved yet. A lot of them have diminished. Some of them may be out of the list. So I don't know. But some of them have diminished, deteriorated.
Right.
So I'll tell you this thing. So this is interesting, guys. This is something I think which intersects with a lot of our other discussions on countries. There are 35,127 global parliamentary seats.
Okay.
How many do women occupy?
So how many? 31,000.
35,000.
35,000. Okay, 35,000. I would say. So politics. I would say 5,000.
That's I think high. How much percent is that? I'm looking for a percentage answer. How much is 5,000?
Percent was 5 out of 35.
No, it's more than that. It's definitely more than that.
It's around 13, 14%.
No.
Oh, it's more, is it?
No, it's more than that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The world is better than I thought, I guess.
25%. 25%. Yeah, it is. 25%.
Oh, okay. Probably these I guess a lot of these Scandinavian countries.
Scandinavian.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised by other countries in that. Hopefully, we'll come across them if I find the statistics.
Sweden has around.
You'll be surprised by some. Nicaragua, I think. Nicaragua has one. I think at 40 or 50%.
Sweden, I think we had covered Sweden in one of our previous videos.
Yeah,
Politics of Sweden.
They're in their 40s.
No, Sweden was like 51 or something, right? Sweden was 51%.
I think they're in late 40s. It maybe was, but that's a dynamic thing. We don't know when that was. This is the latest.
Okay.
Maybe this year it's different. Last year was different. So Sweden and the other country, I think it was Norway, is I think in their late 40s. We'll come across it, I believe. There are around 3. So for me, the interesting number was the 35,000 parliamentary seats. I never looked at the.
So tell me another thing. So in Parliament, right? Is it like equal for each country? Like for example, India has what?
No, India is at 40%. Near 40%.
We have 40%. That's awesome. Why? That's way better than I thought.
Yeah, that is awesome. No, what does that mean? Wait, let me rephrase that.
Wait, 40% of women, right?
I think the gap is. 40% I think is 40% of. If I understood the graph correctly, we'll come across that graph. But if I understood it correctly, 40%. The number of women in parliament are 40% of the number of men. I believe. I think that's the number.
So if okay, I thought maybe it's 60-40 types. If let's say 500 seats.
No, it's not.
200, 300 or something. No.
If there are 100 seats, then there are 40 women.
Oh. Okay.
No. Let me rephrase that. There are 140 seats totally. 100 of them are women. 42 of them are female. 40 of them are.
No. I think for every 100 there will be 40 women or something like that. Maybe.
We'll get to that. I think I'm correct. We'll find out. We'll confirm it.
I don't know.
I'll just finish my summaries.
Right.
Yeah. We'll confirm it. That's something. Of the ministers, there are 3,300 ministers. 21% are women. What else? The current rate the world is moving, the gender gap will be closed in 100 years. if that's useful data. I don't know that they revised it from last year. It's reduced.
See,
from
that's
last year.
what I meant. Like that. If you see 10 years, it'll probably be almost all countries will be going up. These you are saying like 2 years. 2 years will be that like graph just dipping down just for a bit kind of thing, you know.
Right. That's possible. Over a span of 10 years, they could be. It could be. 10 years. Yeah, sure. Maybe I should have reconsidered. When you say 10 years, it's right. That's right. It's absolutely right what you said. I agree. I just thought that, I find it hard to believe Saudi Arabia would go, but what am I saying?
That's
I saw
true.
a documentary and all things are changing there as well, so what do I know? But, right, so the top 10 were there on the list.
Okay, yeah,
you
go
can
ahead.
see Iceland, Norway.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm going ahead.
you're done with
I'm
your.
going ahead, yeah. No. What else? I'm just reading through some of the facts in their summary.
Mhm.
So they go regional wise. So just like we saw on the previous page, there are regions. I thought it'd be nice to specify the regions as well. So you have South Asia, which is basically the Indian subcontinent.
Isn't
You
there a
have
graph
East
for
Asia.
that? Isn't there a graph for that in this?
There might be. I don't think in any of the pages. So
Okay. No. Then
I
it's
don't
okay.
think
Then it's
there
okay.
is.
Then
That's
it's okay. Okay.
Yeah. Then there's Latin America and West Indies. Then there's North America. There's South America. There's West Europe. There's Eastern Europe. There is North Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa. There's
So what about all
there's
these
North
regions?
Africa and Middle East, and there's Sub-Saharan Africa and South Africa. Then there's East Asia and Oceania. I think those are the main regions. I think I covered them. What else? What else do we have? Right. Other trends. So I'm summarizing the other trends. Like again, we covered this. The jobs the women take. This is an interesting fact. Based on the data from LinkedIn, which is one of the sources for the World Economic Forum, 6 of the 8 microclusters with the highest employment growth rates have women underrepresenting them. So these would be areas like people and culture, content production, marketing, sales, specialized project managers, data and AI, engineering, and cloud computing.
Right.
So this is the highest paying jobs, and they're dominated by men.
Right.
And not only are they the highest paying jobs, I think they're the highest populated. They're the in-demand occupations. So there are many roles to be played here. So yeah. Oh yeah, that's that. So the second call back to our previous statistic on the jobs that the women and men pay.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Caps, Rwanda, political and I have a problematic throat. Let's say, anyways. I think I found a mistake in one of the graphs. I don't know which page it was. Are you on the page 9 graph? Let's go to the page 9 graph.
This is page 9. I think this is page 10. You mean this one?
No, I'm on page 9.
Page 9 doesn't have a graph.
Yeah, no, it has a. Look at Rwanda. What's the color of Rwanda?
It is orange.
What is orange?
Orange is South Asia. What?
Exactly. It's just a glitch I found. I mean, even the best of us can make mistakes. It's a mistake, right? I thought it's an obvious mistake, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't think I'm wrong.
No. Wait. Latin
Africa.
America.
It's in Sub-Saharan Africa. It's Middle Africa.
No, I know, but color, I'm just getting confused between this and this color, that's all. Sub-Saharan and South Asia.
Yeah, I know. That is a bad color code, but that's orange. They got confused for sure. There are 2 shades of orange.
No, this is very... See, there is Sierra Leone and India are both...
Wait, scroll down. Are there any other oranges?
See. I mean, it's clearly right. See, India and Sierra Leone are both the same color. It shouldn't be.
White. Yeah. So they're all glitches, right? They got So they probably programmed this, and the program they put a wrong value.
Or the color is these colors are very similar.
Look at Thailand. Oh fuck, there's so many mistakes. No, look at Thailand. It's 75. A lot of mistakes.
75. Thailand is Sub-Saharan Africa, right? Yeah, it is a mistake.
I'm pretty sure Thailand's not in Africa.
Yeah. That's like it should probably belong to South Asia, or Eastern Pacific Asia. Sorry.
Yeah, I guess there are a lot of
Eastern Pacific Asia, probably.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. So those colors are closed. So that's fine.
Eastern
Those
Pacific Asia is
those
fine.
colors are closed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But South Asia is the issue. South Asia is clearly different.
No, these two colors are, I guess.
Oh, is it? Oh, you're right. Okay. So I thought Sub-Saharan Africa, East Asian colors. So it might be a color problem. Either way. Bad choice of colors. Bad choice. Maybe they have limited colors. I don't know.
Because see, Chad,
Alright.
Chad also has South Asian color. Chad, Syria, Pakistan. Pakistan and Chad have the same.
Okay. So other summaries I'll get to is political empowerment. So is where the women are least represented, severely underrepresented.
Should we go to that list of? I think we should go to that list with all 4 categories.
Let's see. Go to page 12. Is that it? Is that what we're looking for?
Wait, I'm still scrolling. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So this is.
While you're looking at that.
So I'll just explain, I guess. So there is four categories. Yeah, 4 categories as we had mentioned. So these tables are listing of these countries according to those categories, which is economic participation and opportunity, educational attainment, and then there is health and survival and political empowerment. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So, this is political empowerment is where the women are least. I'm still stuck on the summary in the beginning, but it's all related. It's good that we're going to the graph. No, it's good we're going to the graph. It's good. Political empowerment is a place where women are least representative. What's obvious is health and education, and what's the other one, Jim?
Health and survival. Health and
survival.
And then there is educational attainment, and then economic participation and opportunity.
Right. So those two, you're right. Health and education are where we've reached near parity. The world is reached near parity. It's all over 90%, 99%. So if you look at the graph, you'll see that. Now, when they say 9.99, my understanding is 99% of the gap has been closed, right?
Yeah. Where, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's
right. Education attainment.
So look at the worst country. The worst countries are doing 50. Okay, the worst are pretty bad.
No, but still, there is a lot until like 0.8. So that's why till 145 there's 0.8.
Exactly.
So.
That's right. So that parity has been closed, but there's a misconception. So this is true of health and education. That is health and survival and education attainment. This is true of both the graphs. We'll see it's similar trend. So these are what are contributing to the gender parity. But what is pulling it down is the political empowerment primarily, and to a large extent the economic.
Dude, why is health? China is the least in health, although obviously the gap is very low.
It's still at 92%.
Yeah.
That's my point. Yeah, the disparity.
That's beautiful.
Now, it's also true that, Chintan, when it comes to health, women need extra medical care.
That is true.
So countries may fall short of that.
That is true.
And another thing people will get confused on. Just because the gap is minimal, that doesn't mean the health situation of the country is good.
I was going to mention exactly that. Yeah, for sure.
Right. Go on. Say what you had to say.
No, that exactly what you said I was going to say. That's all.
Yeah. It's probably best to re-emphasize.
Yeah, like these African countries and all, like the health situation and all isn't very great. But that doesn't mean men and women doesn't have the same equal opportunity. It just means they're in a more rural area and they don't have access to healthcare. That's all.
Yeah. To put it in another word, the men are doing bad as well, but the women are doing bad as well. Women are doing worse. Men are doing pretty bad when it comes to their health, but the women are doing worse.
Yeah, but I mean, ideally, even if there is less access, I would have thought some countries at least it'll be like more than 1, right? Oh, but score, why is it 0 to 1 and why is it all lower than 1? That's what I'm wondering.
Let me tell you that. Like I said, it's the same thing for everything. Because this is where the political thing also comes up.
Okay.
When it says 99%, that means the gap has been close to 99%. So
let's say Sweden. Sweden is 117th, okay, and it's 0.96. Why is it that 0.96% on women only get 96?
It's not 0.96%.
96%. Sorry. 96% women get equal. Healthcare as compared to.
You're wrong.
Then
you're not listening to what I'm saying. That's wrong.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's saying 96% of the gap has been closed.
Oh.
There's still a 4% gap. Yeah, that's my point. Because this is referring to the gap.
Okay.
Right, so that's what I said. Now I'll come back to the Africa example. For example, if Chad, let's say Chad says 90% gap is closed. I don't know if Chad's on the list. So let's go to worse. China, 96%.
Yeah.
Not China, say Chad. Chad, I'm assuming they're an economically poor country. It could mean that, it could still mean only 10% of the men are accessing healthcare, have access to good healthcare.
Okay.
But if the gap is 50%, that means only 5% of the women have access to healthcare.
What? No, I don't get it.
Okay.
So let's say
let's say 10.
let's say India. In India, there is 100 people, 50 women, 50 men.
Yeah.
So do both of
let's
them?
Take 10. Let's take 10 people.
Okay, 10
let's take 10 people. 10 people. If there's a 99.4% gap, that only means whatever access 10 people. Okay, wait. I'll start again. 10 people are there. Only what's the percentage? Okay, let's take 100 actually.
Yeah.
Let's take 100.
Exactly.
Only 50% have 50 people have access to healthcare.
Okay.
If 25 and 50 people, 25 are men and 25 are women.
Got it.
If 25% of the men had access to healthcare, had the same access to healthcare as women had access to healthcare, this number would show 100%. It show 1. Does that make sense?
No. 25%.
Okay, I'll try to see. 100 people. Okay, only 50 people have access to healthcare.
Okay. 25 women,
Of the
25
people who have
men.
access to healthcare, 25% is women.
Yeah.
And 25% is men.
Got it.
This ranking will show 1. It will show 1.
Okay.
It won't show.
Okay. So you're saying
it won't
20.
show 0.9.
Okay. No,
So-
I got
so
that.
if
So
you
you're saying so in that 50 it's 26 26 are men and 24 are women. That's what you're saying.
Something like that. Yeah.
So why is that? That is what exactly in let's say in Sweden. In Sweden, why is it that in that 50 people, why is it that more men have more access than women? Why?
So maybe the 24 people, some of them are pregnant, some of them have periods or other issues related to periods, and women breast problems.
Yeah, I guess.
And there's insufficient infrastructure for that. Breast problems, anything related to the female anatomy.
Yeah, I guess something like that. Yeah.
I mean, it's obvious to me. Childbearing, it has to be something related to the female anatomy.
Right.
So yeah, so that's that. Right, so that's just something I want to clarify. That's what I'm saying. Just because if Chad says it's at 1%, let's say 190%, the overall economic might be bad. They're like maybe only 10% of the male children, have access to health, and only 5% of female children have access to health. The health in general is bad, but even in that, there's a discrimination.
Yeah, I got that. That's what I was like. I think initially itself I had got that point, but okay. Anyways, go ahead.
You got that point, but I think you read the numbers wrong. It doesn't mean 97% of the women of Sweden are doing well. It's 97% of all those who have access to health.
Yeah, that's what I was saying in the beginning also. Like.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't understand.
Like in India, it doesn't mean 94% people have healthcare. Like I know that much worse than
94%. Yeah, 94% women. Yeah, 94% women. Doesn't mean that. Yeah. Correct. Then okay. Then we're agree. So the same thing. So the same thing in politics. So if you see politics, let's take India.
India, I think.
I think we're in top 20. I think we're in top 20.
Oh, we are?
Are we? I think.
Oh, yeah, we are 18th. Correct.
Yeah, 18th. Okay. So what does that 41% mean?
That 41%, if there are 100 people, 40 are women and 60 are men, is my understanding, but maybe
wrong.
It's wrong, is it?
That's my point. That's the thing. So if you took the Sweden understanding, you wouldn't say that. You see.
Okay. No. So wait. Yeah. Okay. No, but the health and survival is different, though.
It would actually be. Okay, I guess you're right in a way. It would be 60-100. That's the size of the gap. So it'll be 60-100. Correct. This is showing the size of the gap.
Okay, right. Okay.
No, it's not. So it's showing the amount of gap we covered. My bad. So if there are 100, did we cover 40 people? Oh my god, why am I getting confused? That's what, I think you're right. Is it 40? Is that right? Of the 100 seats, 40% are occupied by women. That means they've closed the gap by 40%. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I think you're right. You're right.
So
that
there
makes sense. No, doesn't make sense.
No, so let me ask you this. How many seats are there in India? Like some, you know.
That's 530-ish, 36.
So in that some 200 are women. Do you know that? Like all these.
You don't know that. I don't know that. 40% of it's definitely that. It has to be at least that. It can't be 60% for sure.
No, it's not 60%. No, but you have a different theory, right? Some 160 thing, which I still don't know what that is, but.
I said 140, which I said
140.
140. It's the same thing. I was correct, but it's the exact same thing.
It's not the same thing. It's definitely not the same thing. If you are saying 140 and if 40 are women and 100 are men, it's not the same as 40% are women. It's definitely not.
That means how much of the gap is when? I'm saying 60 are women and 100 are men. Sorry.
Yeah.
160. No, wait. This is confusing. No, this is difficult. No, I said it wrong. 140 thing is the wrong thing. I don't know what I was saying. It's just I'm bad at math. 100 people. It must be 40 are women. That was my understanding also. Yes. 25% women. So because it's saying it means women are 40% of what men are getting. The thing is, I'll tell you why I confused you. In health, not 100% of the people are having access. Right?
Yeah, that is what. In this, there's no access in question. Yeah. That is a different thing. Exactly, that's why I'm saying it's not even. You can't even. Yeah, exactly.
You're right. So it has to be 40%. It has to be 40%.
But it seems like a very huge number. So, I don't know politics in India so much, but 40, 200 out of.
I know there are a lot of women.
Yeah, 200 out of 500 people in the parliament. I don't know. I see way more men though. I don't know.
That's true. It's a little surprising to me, but we'll confirm that. We'll confirm that.
I think it's something else. I think.
What is it? Oh no, that's also true. Because if you see Iceland, it's not 90%, right? Just scroll down.
Wait, where are we?
Scroll down.
Politics. Iceland 0.7.
70% is not. It could be. Where is Sweden? Sweden is 52%.
Sweden is 52%. You're right. I think we read that number like 51% or something.
Yeah.
So maybe it is right. So India has so many female politicians, huh? That's crazy.
We'll see. It might be.
I think we might be wrong over there, but okay.
We'll see. Further, once when you close, what are the stats? Okay, I'll tell you what.
Where is US in this? Let's see where US is. United States. United States. So United Arab Emirates. Oh, wait, why is it so low in US? Oh, 86.164. What is this?
What are we talking about? Political representation?
Yeah, political empowerment.
Nice.
I'm guessing the score is something else, dude. It's not percentage. I have it right.
So I'll tell you what factors are included. Right, it's right.
No, it's not factors. I want to know if it is like 16, like if it is 0.42.
Let me tell you. Chittal, let me explain. Hold on, because we're jumping. I'm actually confusing myself. So there are multiple things they consider in this. Okay, when you tell a score, right, they're taking multiple factors. Under sub-index political empowerment, they're considering the number of years the country has been led by a state. The head of a state has been led by a woman. Okay, that's one of the factors.
Oh, then that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah. Let me finish. Okay. You're right. Then they're considering the number of women the woman percentage in the parliament, in the in the member of seats,
Oh, okay.
number of women in the ministry,
Okay.
number of, I think those three are the main things when it comes to politics.
Right.
So this is something I should have mentioned.
Yeah, it's not just the seats. It's multiple things. Then it
It's
makes
not.
sense because India
It's
had like
not.
Indira Gandhi and shit, stuff like that. So
Exactly.
US has had no
My
women.
bad.
No,
My bad.
the highest has
My
been
bad.
Hillary Clinton. So
Right. So I'll tell you what, we'll try to stick to an order. I'll try to, it's my part of that. I'm directing us all places, and I only confuse myself, but we'll get to that. So, what else? So, for example, maybe I can mention that because we mentioned political power. Health and survival, they would think about paternity stuff, maternity medicine, right? And the ages, like young people access to basic healthcare. That's pretty obvious, health and survival. If you go to economy, when it comes to economy, there are multiple factors. So this would be women in leadership roles, managerial roles, like the other one. There would be wage and income differences, the participation ratio in the labor force. So that would be how many men and women in the normal labor force services.
right.
Access to financial services, parental leaves,
Lots of the stuff.
entrepreneurs, part-time work, unpaid household work.
Right. Lots of the stuff that we saw in the Our World and Data.
Our world and yes, exactly. A lot of things we came across.
Yeah.
Now, right. Yeah, so those are the main things. Economic. When you go to education, they're focusing on secondary and tertiary education. So there's secondary education beyond that, like, and then university attendance. How many women men attend university? Those are two main factors. Amongst other factors, they have a list of 14 factors. We'll get into that also. But given how we've covered a lot of it, let's maybe we can go to the other graphs. Let's study the graphs, and then I'll just go to a summary of the most populated countries and just maybe state a few interesting facts there. And maybe then we can get to a conclusion. But let's go to page 13, 12 and 13. I'm in 12, 13 now.
Yeah, we are in 12 and 13.
This is an interesting graph.
You want to know?
Yeah, okay, let's go to the next one.
You want to go to this one?
Domestic. Yeah.
So let me just reduce this. So economic participation and time spent in unpaid domestic work. Okay. Oh, this is okay. I guess. Does this include like housewife stuff or what? Like economic participation?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. I think it is housewife. It's primarily housewives, but I don't know how they get the dates up.
Right.
Sources World Economic Forum,
Right.
OECD. These are only OECD countries. These are a bunch of lot of developed countries. Oh, India's part of it? Crazy.
India
A
is
lot of countries are part of it, I think, but it's only a list of 70 countries.
not very surprising. I guess it's pretty low. India.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of unpaid work, but still.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not descriptive enough. But still, it's some kind of description. Let's go to page 4.
Japan. I think I had seen one of those YouTube videos where life in a day of Japan, whatever that guy does, right?
Okay.
And he was mentioning that culturally, I think women kind of like have this
household work.
Yeah, household work kind of thing. I think there's culture involved over there as well. A lot of it.
Right.
There's probably a lot of Scandinavia here, a lot of Norway, Sweden, whatever.
Sure.
Iceland.
Sure. Makes sense.
But yeah, this lot makes sense for sure. But yeah, where do you want to go? Which page?
What's up? Page 15. Okay, there's a simple graph. We won't spend too much time on it. There. Okay. It's just showing it demonstrates a gap basically. If you notice, the width is reducing over time. And regionally, over each sub-index.
This is
so there's it doesn't.
This is not.
Sorry.
This is core.
Right. So that width, right? It's for each sub-index, and the width reduces for each sub-index. So it shows a gap. So if you see, let's say the gender gap, let's say economic opportunity.
Oh, this is what we talked about already, because it's all 0.9s in education and healthcare. So
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So and a lot of the countries are so if it's darker, many countries are concentrated on
correct. Because health and survival, education.
So you can see, Right. So economic opportunity is spread out widely because there's a range of countries and they have different ranges of economic. So it has to be. So these are supplements.
Yeah.
What's on 16? What's on page 16? Boring graph. So with time, you can see marginal improvements in the figures over. This since they started. They started on 6.
Right.
So
Division of gender.
each sub-index. Right. Okay, what's up
But
page
still,
20?
like, it's okay. 2006 to 19. Okay, I thought maybe I was expecting a higher increase in graph, but I guess it's just 14 years.
Same. I thought it's marginal improvement. Same.
Which other page? Next page.
20.
There is, what is this? 18. Wage gap between women and OECD countries. Okay, OECD. But what is OECD
Also, I
again?
should tell you one thing.
What is OECD again?
Organization for economic cooperation and development.
How many countries
there are a
are
bunch of 30 countries.
Okay.
It's out of 30 countries, the most developed ones, like Canada, New Zealand, and European countries and others. Then Japan, South Korea came, and I think a lot of countries are now applying for this thing. The only criteria for applying for this is to be a democracy and having open markets, so access to markets. So they form policies like World Trade Organization.
Right.
But I don't think World Trade has criteria for democracy. In this, only democracy is participating.
Right. Okay. You were mentioning something.
That's that.
You were saying something.
No, not really. I was going to say OECD and what is that? These are regional wise, so these are the regions I was mentioning.
So I guess Western Europe, not very surprising. North America, not very surprising. Latin America, okay. Yeah, I mean the decrease is not very surprising.
What's least surprising is Middle East. What's least surprising is Middle East at the last.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. South Asia, Sub-Saharan Africa. Okay.
Yep. 22. What's in 22? I'm sorry, Jim. My voice is like getting nervous and something.
Yeah,
that's why I'm not speaking too much.
Mine too. Evolution of of the global gender gap index by region over time. Okay, this is fine. This is 22. Okay.
6 out. Again, same point. I think region-wise sub-index.
Yeah. Region-wise. This also won't be surprising. Yeah, overall.
What's in 26? I think we've covered most of them.
26. Oh yeah, this is what you were saying is pretty interesting.
Region-wise.
Oh, this is region-wise?
Yeah, I thought, because for me it was interesting because I found out the list of countries in the region.
Okay.
I'll tell you some things which are not surprising now to us, but initially it was to me. I don't know about Chintan, but like South Asia, Bangladesh is leading by a mile.
Oh yeah, we talked about this, I think. In Bangladesh.
Yeah, there you go.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So India is only 4th here. Nepal's in Sri Lanka's in. That's it.
I mean, not that surprised by it actually.
Last,
Not by that surprised because Sri Lanka and Nepal. Yeah, I'm not that surprised.
What, they somehow better with gender? It's surprising. You see, they're not by much. It's quite.
No, but also
by 0.02.
But population.
So this is adjusted for population. No, this is adjusted for population.
Oh, is it?
So they take the average level. Yeah.
No, but still okay.
Yeah, mentioned in the beginning. Yeah. Still, you're right. Still.
But see, globally, Bangladesh is way ahead of all the rest.
Yeah.
That's
surprising. Being an Islamic nation too,
exactly.
So that was surprising to us.
Exactly. Good for them. I mean, they're doing really well.
But 3 cheers for Pakistan being last, not you?
Sure, man. Sure.
Right.
Sure.
Okay. So, there was one more thing I wanted to show. I wanted to show the 14 factors they considered for these 4 sub-indexes. But I don't know if you can. It's later. It's only later. I don't know where that'll come. If you can find it, it would be nice. It's a good page to end on, and I would just.
So it's not. You're saying it's not in the summary. It's ahead. It's not in the conclusion.
It's ahead. It's ahead.
You want to read the conclusion or what?
No. It's not. We've got through the conclusion. Summary conclusion.
It's a graph only or what?
It's ahead. It's a table.
Oh, this one. Across professional clusters. Oh, this is what you were talking about earlier, I think.
Yep.
Data AI.
That's right.
Men and women share of
Useful graph. Maybe another day. When we revisit this topic, we'll get into it. I specifically want to get to. Oh, okay. It's well ahead. I read more than I thought. Or maybe we missed it. Wait. Or maybe we missed it, man. I don't know. Okay, it's fine. I mentioned a lot of them. Chintan, I mentioned basically things like the state, right? The woman leader as head of state, number of parliamentarians, but also like women and the labor force market. I didn't feel like you're getting closer, but I couldn't be sure. I'm uncertain. I haven't read all these points. But what I will do is, just before we end, there's few salient features pertaining to certain countries. And I'll just read them out, okay? So for the topmost 15 populated countries, so I thought I'd just read what's unique about these countries, what they're doing uniquely better than other countries.
Okay.
So in Iceland, they have the paternity leave, right? They're almost one, right? They're very close. They're coming further than everywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe not in political participation, but economics and everything else is quite forward ahead. But the unique thing is their paternity leave. They give it even for males.
Right.
So paternity leave, it's not just a maternal leave. So that kind of equals the
paternity leave. I think is there like it's there in the US also, many places I think here, and
Right.
obviously Scandinavian
I think
countries.
they don't implement it as much as comprehensively as Iceland.
Yeah,
the number of weeks they give, number of months.
And maybe in Iceland it's like
Unpaid.
maybe it's like a government rule in Iceland. I don't think it is here. Maybe it is. I don't know actually.
No, it is a government rule.
No,
It
that's
is
what
in Iceland.
that's what
I don't know
the
about
difference
that.
between US and Iceland might be that here it's just organizations and companies which are giving, and
Right.
not the government.
Two key differences I know are the one is the length and the paid leave.
Yeah.
Often a paid leave and the duration.
Right. Duration for sure. Yeah.
Right. So let's see. What's in Nicaragua? Nicaragua has more women in ministerial positions than men.
Okay.
Latin America, highly corrupt society, not a Scandinavian country. More than 50% of ministers are women. The cabinet.
Oh. Wait, what? In Latin
I've been
America?
led by-
Entire Latin America?
No, it just says Nicaragua.
Oh, okay,
It's fifth on the list, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a super developed country. It's quite corrupt though, but it has more than 50% women. That's just an exception to our general understanding of what I
Right.
thought. And they had a woman head of state for 7 years in the past 50 years. So they're only checking the last 50 years. The last 50 years, how long has a woman been leading? New Zealand. What is significant about New Zealand? Women are strongly represented in it.
What's her name? Racinda, whatever.
Oh, I don't know.
I forgot her name.
They have a female head of state.
Yeah. She's like
They're one of the first to grant right to vote for women in 1893. I don't know if that matters, but strongly represented in the institutions.
Nice.
That's the salient feature.
So that's what
Ireland, women who work are employed part-time, and on average, an Irish woman tends to spend 2.3 times more than a man on unpaid care and domestic activities. I guess this is a negative answer. They have data for that.
So what, unpaid as in like
Spain,
the housewifey stuff you're saying?
Yep, domestic activities, housewifey stuff.
Right.
To put it articulately, housewifey stuff.
Right. Sure.
Spain is more improved. Spain is one of the most improved countries in this edition, entering the top 10 from the past edition. It was 29th in the past edition. Political empowerment is where it made the biggest gains, 17 percentage points. Yes. Gap thanks to representation of women amongst ministers. 64% of the ministers are women in Spain.
Ooh.
It's not just these Scandinavians that are killing it, yeah.
Whoa.
And almost an equal share in the member of parliament.
Whoa.
47% women, 42% men. 47.4, 42.6.
Like how come we
That's in Spain.
never came across Spain in any
Yeah,
of
I
the
know.
lists? Yeah.
For me, more surprising. Spain is fine, but for me, more surprising Nicaragua.
Yeah, for sure.
That was a surprising
For sure.
Latin America. Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, we were surprised to see it in the top 10 of this. So that's the top 5. I got interesting facts at that. Now I'm going to the most populated countries. South Bangladesh. Chintan might know the population. Over 100 million? I don't know.
Bangladesh, yeah, it's like around 130 or 160. I don't know. If it's either 130 or 160,
I think
one of them. Yeah.
Right. I think in the top 15 countries, all are above 100 million.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Top 15. No, 15th is Vietnam, which is like 97 million.
Okay, so let's say 100. Close on.
Yep.
So what's unique about... So I don't know if you know this, but Bangladesh has a woman prime minister.
Right, yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, that. Current performance, political sub-index, let's see. 8% of women in the cabinet, that's it. 20% in the parliament, that's it. That's all they have. 38% of adult women were part of the labor force. So of all the women, only 38% went to work, and of all the men, 84% were part of the labor force.
Okay.
Brazil, 70 countries, parity woman, man for technical. Oh, Brazil has achieved parity between women and men for technical and professional roles.
Oh, nice.
So I think those AI cloud would come into those.
Right.
A lot of roles like the sales, marketing, all these. So that's Brazil. I'm just reading a unique fact. The other statistics, but these were the most interesting.
Sales and marketing, I feel many countries would have achieved, but yeah, I don't know.
Possibly. But it's across all these, right? In general. Now, China has a skewed sex ratio, 885 girls for 1,000 boys.
Whoa.
Weighs heavily on China's performance. It weighs heavily on China's performance on the Health and Survival Index.
Shit.
Where it ranks 153rd.
Yeah.
That's why the health index is last.
Yeah, it's last.
Because of this. They say it has to do with the sex ratio.
Right. Oh, I guess that makes sense. Kind of.
Egypt. Barriers that still prevent women to access finance and assets. And yeah. What else does Egypt have? Estimated that the income of average man. We're probably close to 2 hours, right? It's fine. Should I finish either way, or
no, it's okay.
We should continue another time. It's okay, right?
We are almost there, so it's okay. Might as well give out all the points. I feel.
Yeah, right. It is estimated that the income of average men is about 3.8 times that of an average woman. Removing all barriers that grant equal access to women and men to internships should be the first step in leveraging untapped human value. So there's significant barriers that prevent women to access finance and assets.
So this is in general, like
this is Egypt. By law,
Egypt.
By law, there are still significant limitations for women, at least for some social groups, to own land, capital, and financial capital. So that's the thing. This is a problem we had in Kashmir, right? And all the controversy. Before the abrogation of the law, women weren't allowed to have the property, inherent property.
No, I didn't know that.
So it's a similar problem. Ethiopia. Here's another surprising one. 47.6% of ministers are women in Ethiopia. A woman was elected president in 2018, so every woman had a stake.
Crazy.
Every 400 mothers out of every 100,000 dying give birth. 400 mothers out of 100,000 die giving birth. Only 27% of births are attended by skilled health professionals.
Whoa.
So they probably have a low rating on health.
Yeah.
That's where the discrepancy comes. India. It's lost 4 positions since the previous edition. Despite small score improvements.
Previous is just 2 years. No, that's what. Like it's 2016 to 20.
Last year maybe.
No, I think it's every 2 years. I think I read every 2 years.
Really? They don't release this every year? I thought they release every year. No. Maybe. Yeah, they had one in 2019. Of course. I think they had one in 2019. No. Either way, maybe 2 years or 1 year.
Okay.
Previous edition of World Gender Gap. Among the 153 countries studied, India is the only country where the economic gender gap is larger than the political gender gap. That was interesting.
Right.
It's the only country.
Only country where economic?
So politically, gender gap is larger than the political gender gap.
Oh, okay. Right. No, that political thing, so I guess it's kind of, it's because it considers those factors, it's a little grey, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Possibly. Not 200, maybe not 200, 50, 100, I don't know. But still a significant. The point here is, even though we have a somewhat progressive women representation in politics, we don't have
economics,
we don't have that representation in economics.
Sure, yeah.
India ranks low 150th in health and survival, 94.4 points.
Yeah.
As a result of skewed sex ratio at birth. Skewed sex ratio at birth.
Oh, okay.
91 girls to 100 boys. 91 girls to 100 boys.
Right.
This might have to do with the female infanticide and all that, right?
Yeah. Should do that. Just sad, dude. 150th is just sad. Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's 94 still, gender gap.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah, I guess. A ratio well below the natural one. 91 is well below the natural. Now, violence, forced marriage, and discrimination in access to health remain pervasive.
This is in India, no?
So, against this violence against women, forced marriages, and the story. So, this is where when we're talking about the marriage show.
Yep.
I imagine maybe the
Indian matchmaking.
Yeah. Yeah. Indonesia, what's unique here? According to this graph, Indonesia jumped 28 places. We saw that even in the other graph. You were surprised to see Indonesia somewhere, right?
Yeah.
28 places on economic participation.
So is Indonesia or maybe UAE? UAE might be the most
it's 68.
progressive Muslim nation, maybe, but then UAE has like so many immigrants.
I don't know.
So maybe Indonesia.
I don't know that. No, because by progressive we're talking gender parity, not necessarily.
No,
like
not
South Korea and Japan.
No, not progressive. I meant only gender. Yeah.
No, but it might be gender might not be the case with UAE, just like South Korea and Japan, right? Something like that.
Okay.
I don't know. Constituting one of the most significant improvements in the dimension growth. One of the most improvements in economic. Indonesia boasts the world's largest share of senior leadership roles held by women. 55%.
Where? Indonesia?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And it's one of 6 countries in the world where a majority of such roles are held by women. The senior and leadership roles.
What?
Yeah. One of 6 countries.
Awesome.
Yeah. Surprising. Mexico, the largest Muslim population. Just bring that up. Big contrast with the Middle Eastern form of Islam.
That is really awesome, dude.
Yeah. Mexico is one of the most improved countries this year, reaching 25th position with a score of 75.4. Most improved this year. Is one of the most improved countries. Most of this progress is due to the increase in the number of women in ministerial positions, jumping from 15.8 to 42.1, equal to India in 2018.
Wait, which country is this?
Indonesia. Mexico. In addition, women represent 48% of the seats in the country in parliament. 48%.
And it was a huge jump also. Huge jump.
Yeah, in 2018. 48% is what is equal to the Scandinavians.
Yeah.
Not be surprised. Mexico, Pakistan. It says in brackets, Chintan's favorite countries. Maybe I forgot that. Ranks in the bottom 10 in 3 of the 4 main categories of the index. Okay, nothing positive to say about that. Oh shit, Chintan, why aren't you clapping? Ranks bottom 10 in the 3 of the 4 main categories.
Yeah,
that's a shame. That's actually disappointing. I mean, I feel like India has also a big role to play in Pakistan's development. I feel like together we need to do something. Below the 100 mark in 12 of the 14 individual indicators. The individual indicators being things like I mentioned before. Philippines. Once a member of the top 10 on Global Gender Gap Index. The country is now 16th. Smallest gender gap of Asian continent by far. The next best being Laos, which is ranked 23rd.
I think Philippines, the culture itself is all like, it's fine, I think. What is the largest?
Gender neutral culture.
I think there's what is the...
Ethnicity? I think they're a Christian nation.
Oh, Christian, no? Correct. Right.
Yeah, I think they're a Christian nation.
Yeah, they are Christian, I think, yeah.
Maybe other factors, maybe some influence, I don't know. I guess, technically all the Christian nations are doing well, right? But yeah, it has close to 80% of economic participation, opportunity, with women outnumbering men in senior leadership roles. This is one of the 6 countries.
Right.
So Philippines outnumbering men in senior leadership roles as well as professional technical professions. It has no gap in health or education. Philippines is 16th, is by far ahead of all Asian nations, and it's a shame because it has a dictatorial leader. So I don't know what that has to do with it. I guess that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. When it comes to gender parity, it's more cultural.
Yeah.
So shame on you for saying North Korea, because North Korea could be gender neutral. But there's no data. Russia.
But North Korea, I would say, would be culturally more close to South Korea. So South Korea.
That's true.
South Korea is not very high. So.
And South Korea is known to hate their women. So yeah, that makes sense. Russian women are on average more educated than men and live longer, but seldom achieve positions on leadership. Obviously, there's only one freaking man. But this is true for all men. This is unfair. There's only one man. It's not even other men. Women enjoy a healthy life expectancy than almost 8 years longer than men.
There are protests going on against him, no? No?
I'm not surprised. It's always been the case. But tell me if they become significantly powerful.
Yeah, I think that is I think the Putin protest has become before. It's happened before also. So whatever.
It has. I know it has. Yeah. So 8 years longer than men. Women live on average 8 years longer than men in Russia.
Okay. I think it's in general also.
So that's it.
No, maybe not.
Maybe. That might be. But it's health and survival, right? So I don't know.
Right.
It's a part of that. Average level of skill of women are still penalized. Only 71% of wage gap, 51% income gap, 41.8% man and senior officials are women. Okay. And our last country is Vietnam.
Okay. I'm guessing Vietnam is very neutral.
No, it's 150th in health, 94. But let's see, sex ratio. It has a skewed sex ratio, 89 to 100. And this is not by birth. This is like China.
Oh.
This is close to China. 89 to, yeah. Which is the lowest in the world, on par with China and Azerbaijan.
Oh, okay. Then I'm wrong. Okay.
Yeah. Here's crazy though. This is an interesting. Literacy rate for women is a 94%. That is awesome. And men are 96%, which means over 95% of people are literate.
That is not very surprising to me.
That's insane.
Vietnam.
It's Vietnam, an Asia country. What is it in India? Like 60, 70?
Yeah, India is around 67 or something, I think. But Vietnam is more developed than India.
95%?
Vietnam is much more
100 million
developed.
population, bro.
Vietnam is much more
developed. Sure.
Much more developed than India. So
I was surprised with it. I didn't know that. I was unaware. Ignorance.
I mean, Japan and all, no, it's around 99, 100 or whatever. It's considered 100, I think. But South Korea, 99, whatever.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Japan is known to be developed. You're saying Vietnam and Japan have the same reputation?
No, definitely not. But I was thinking it's more closer to Japan than India is what I would say. So
yeah, clearly that seems to be the case. And I was definitely... A lot of things revealed about me today. My sexism, my ignorance. Thanks, Chin. Thank you. Thanks for making me look
after this video, by anything, I don't think ignorance will be one thing after this video because we.
Okay.
I think we covered a lot. There's a lot. I mean, there's some good stuff. I would say.
Yeah. Right. And the last statistic, and maybe the last bits of factoid we're going to say. Women represent 1/4 of the parliament in Vietnam. There's only one woman in the cabinet of 25 ministers.
Ooh. Okay.
Imagine that. So that's a lot of catcalling, a lot of inappropriate sexual flirtation.
I doubt it, but okay. But I think that I think that the Japanese, South Korean kind of culture only even Vietnam will have. I don't know though. Obviously, I don't know.
And the wisdom of Arun in the last few days has mentioned the page with the indicators. Please go to page 46.
Okay.
There you go. Maybe you can read them out.
What is this?
These are the indicators within the sub-index. So what are the factors they consider in the sub-index?
Oh, okay. So economic participation and opportunity, it is labor force participation rate.
As well as
wage equality for similar work, estimated earned income, legislators and okay. Legislators, senior officials and managers, professional and technical workers. Okay. And then there's education, literacy, environment in primary education, enrollment in primary education, enrollment in secondary, enrollment in tertiary. Then there's health and survival, which has sex ratio in birth, at birth, healthy life expectancy, women in power. Okay.
There you go, Russia.
Right. I think in general, I think women are like health, like life expectancy.
Maybe.
World average would be lower. I think, as in women will be lower. I guess because of
that contributes to the 90 points. I'm sure, right?
Because of India and everything. So
right. So why would they add that? It seems like maybe they should still add it in the fact that if that's not, I don't know. If women are doing better there, you'd think that they wouldn't add it to this.
Yeah. Politics, women in parliament, women in ministerial positions, years with female head of state. Okay, nice.
Right. There you go.
Nice. So
I said I read. Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
No, like we kind of covered a lot. So do you maybe? I mean, we could end, but I kind of want you to maybe mention a few arguments by let's say, I mean JP or in general, like against like what arguments feminists make, right? The arguments against them, maybe.
Right. Arguments against him. I don't know if I see that because the popular arguments are these, right? At least it used to be last year, the left wing arguments. And therefore, the right wing counters the right wing arguments. It's hard to say. The arguments are basically that there are no differences between one and one. Iceland, they give Iceland, and everything a man can do, a woman can do. So these are it's a social construct, a constructive idea, right? These are social notions, all patriarchy. Those are fundamental arguments.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, my throat is not supporting me, and it feels very uncomfortable now. So I think maybe we can continue the discussion.
Okay. So was this solely because of this, like these two studies?
What do you mean?
Like the World in Data and World Economic Forum that we discussed today, like because of these two, your views have kind of changed, you're saying?
No. Oh no, change. What do you mean change? What is change?
No, so why are you not giving out those arguments now? I don't understand that. Why?
My throat is hurting.
Oh, your throat is hurting. Oh, okay.
What did you hear?
I didn't hear it. I thought that I didn't hear properly, but anyways.
Right.
No.
My throat is not helping me.
Right. Maybe another video. Like I think I mentioned like a couple. I mean, we mentioned a couple of them, which is like the profession being one of them. Like I think.
Yeah, which is mentioned. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So even in this, they give a disclaimer here. They do not take into account for the wage gap. They do not take into account for the
correct
for the hours worked or the kind of jobs they take, and a lot of things they didn't consider. They give those disclaimers.
Correct.
Number of hours worked and the leaves they take. So many things weren't considered even in this wage gap. So they're saying this is just what they call a direct wage gap or something like that, which is it's not perfect. That's still useful to mention. Right. They make that disclaimer.
So I guess I mean we did cover a lot, so we could kind of end this. So.
Yeah. Sure. So I would prefer we have a discussion, but we'll save it for another video.
Yeah, for sure.
I wanted to have it, eventually no one happened.
Yeah, no, but this was a lot of interesting. A lot of interesting discussion, a lot of data, a lot of like, even though it was just 2 tabs as you mentioned, it was a lot of data and a lot of discussions. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you were saying something.
I hope you guys. I just hope you guys found this discussion interesting, entertaining at the very least. At the very most, I hope it gets rid of, it closes the gender parity and ends the discussion on sexism.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Goodbye.
Yeah, see you guys later.